Chapter 151, Come If You Can. Chapter 151, Come If You Can. Very quickly, South Wolf's communication request arrived. Who are you? If you have something to say, then say it quickly. I'm very busy, Shifeng said in an annoyed tone after picking up the call. You. Do you know who I? Shifeng's words nearly caused South Wolf to lose it. However, in the end, he still endured it. After all, this was a task handed down to him from above, so he needed to carry out the job properly. If it were any other person who dared speak to him in such a way, they would definitely face a tragic end. If you have nothing to say, then I'm hanging up, Shifeng said. South Wolf furiously said, Why would I look for you if I have nothing to say? Then speak of it quickly. I'm very busy, Shifeng said, annoyed. There was a huge opportunity right before his eyes, so where would he find the time to bicker with a stranger? South Wolf nearly burst out in rage once again at Shifeng's words. A loose expert like Shifeng dared to speak to him in such a way. However, after giving it some thought, South Wolf realized that Shifeng only dared to speak to him in such a way due to not knowing his real identity. I need to calm down. Calm down, South Wolf consoled himself, saying, as long as he knows my identity, he will definitely be shocked witless. I am the spokesperson for Underworld. I assume that you have never heard of the name of Underworld, right? That's because Underworld is a gigantic hidden organization. If a person does not reach a certain degree of standard, they will have no qualifications for knowing about our existence at all. As for the strength of Underworld, I can tell you about it right now. Even if it is an assassination expert like Absolute Heaven, after striving for 3 years, only now did he manage to obtain the qualifications to become an outer member of Underworld. Until now, he was just an existence at the very bottom. What? Absolute Heaven is just an outer member of Underworld? Shifeng was slightly shocked. Indeed, he had never heard of the name of Underworld before. He also did not know how powerful it was. However, if a top-tier assassin like Absolute Heaven was just an outer member, it could be seen just how unfathomable a background Underworld possessed. Shifeng also did not think that South Wolf was speaking a lie. After experiencing so many things in God's domain, Shifeng was rather proficient at determining whether a person was lying or not. Moreover, the way South Wolf spoke carried the hint of someone speaking down from high above, like an emperor overlooking commoners. This was not an action that could be faked. They can't be wanting to take revenge because I killed Absolute Heaven, right? Shifeng inwardly guessed. Previously, he had not discovered any guild emblem on Absolute Heaven's person. Hence, he always thought that Absolute Heaven was a hidden expert working as a solo assassin. He did not think that Absolute Heaven would have such backing. Hearing Shifeng's shock, South Wolf felt slightly satisfied. Actually, this isn't anything special. Underworld also possesses an unimaginable influence in the real world. The resources and information we possess far exceed your imagination. Even as an outer member, the strength you possess could cause even a major corporation in a city to tremble. Even the snow goddess, Gentle Snow, that you're very familiar with, has to treat an intermediate member of Underworld with respect, not to mention the upper management of Underworld. South Wolf laughed, proudly saying, By telling you all this information, I am not trying to brag about Underworld, but instead, I am telling you just how powerful of a background Underworld possesses. If you don't believe me, you can go ask Gentle Snow. Without sufficient strength, one would not even have the qualifications to know about the existence of Underworld. I'm contacting you to tell you that you have already received the attention of Underworld. You now possess the qualifications to join Underworld. Is it because I killed Absolute Heaven? Shifeng calmly asked. Ien, you can put it that way. If you did not have the strength to kill Absolute Heaven, then you really would not be able to catch the attention of Underworld. South Wolf was slightly astonished. Shifeng was actually not the least bit excited after hearing his words. If others were to receive a similar message, they would normally be ecstatic, wishing they could join immediately. After all, by joining Underworld, one could have many chances to become acquainted with a group of large characters. Carrying out tasks in the future would also become much more convenient. The information Underworld possessed far exceeded what one could imagine, and it would have an unimaginable benefit towards one's future development. So you're saying, as long as I agree, I can become an outer member of Underworld immediately? Shifeng had long since weathered through plenty of storms. He was no longer that immature youth in his early 20s. Hence, he reacted extremely calmly. In Shifeng's previous life, as the guild leader of Shadow, he had never heard of the existence of Underworld. However, Shifeng did not find it strange either. After all, Shadow was only a second-rate guild. In the eyes of first-rate guilds, they were but an ant on the road, not worthy to be mentioned at all. You can put it that way as well. However, it would not be easy if you wished to join Underworld. Right now, you only possess the qualifications to join. Moreover, in Underworld, we have always believed that, if you wish to obtain something, then you need to pay an equivalent price for it. Only when you can afford the price to join Underworld, would you be able to officially become an outer member. Can you tell me what sort of price I need to pay? The price to join Underworld is a considerable amount. Even Absolute Heaven spent 3 years to join. However, you are extremely lucky. From my previous investigations, I discovered that there is a certain flame in your possession that is able to greatly increase your attack and destructive power. As long as you hand over that flame, and pay a monthly membership fee of 10 gold coins, you will officially become an outer member of Underworld. I see, realization struck Shifeng. The organization, Underworld, was similar to a grand chamber of commerce in real life. If one wanted to join the organization, then they needed to pay the membership fee. However, not just anybody possessed the qualifications to join the organization. Within the organization, members would be able to form platforms for mutual assistance, information sharing, and resource sharing. With this, members would be able to obtain many more business opportunities to develop their own enterprises further. Since you understand, when are you prepared to pay the price? I can't stay too long in Red Leaf Town. I still have many other things that I need to do, South Wolf said with a laugh. As long as he could obtain the epic ranked flame in Shifeng's hands, coupling it with several years of accumulated contributions, he would be able to officially become an intermediate member of Underworld. At that time, he would be able to call the wind and rain as he pleased. Sorry, but I refuse to join. You should look for someone else, Shifeng said in a stern tone. After his experience with Shadow, he no longer wished to join someone else's organization. Moreover, he did not need to join someone else's organization. With his advantage as a reincarnated person, he had knowledge of tons of information of which others were unaware. He also knew the trends in which the future would develop toward. If Underworld was seeking him out to cooperate as equals, then he could put some consideration into the matter. However, for him to become a member of Underworld, it would only be a different form of slaving off for someone else. Fortunately, he did not possess such a hobby. Right now, he could already start establishing a large workshop. The goal of establishing a large guild was also within close sight, so he truly did not see any need to join Underworld. The most valuable thing one could obtain within Underworld was information about God's domain. In the eyes of others, although such information was extremely precious, to Shifeng it was common knowledge. The reason he spoke so much was simply to find out more about Underworld. What did you say? South Wolf thought he had heard incorrectly. After speaking for such a long time, Shifeng had simply rejected him. I'm not interested in joining Underworld. You should look for someone else, Shifeng reiterated once more. After speaking so much, in the end, you are just toying with me. South Wolf angrily said, do you know what kind of consequences your actions will bring? It is you who contacted me first. Now that I don't wish to join Underworld, are you going to threaten me to join? Shifeng sneered. Since you dare to toy around with us, Underworld, you naturally have to pay the price. Hand over the flame, and I'll consider it as if this matter never happened. Otherwise, prepare to suffer Underworld's wrath. South Wolf threatened in a cold tone. Ha ha ha. You finally revealed your fox's tail. Since the beginning, your goal has always been the flame, right? You found out from Absolute Heaven that my flame is not anything simple, so you wish to have it for yourselves now, is it? Shifeng calmly said, I only have one sentence to say to you. If you guys have the ability, then come. Chapter 152 Legendary Character. Chapter 152 Legendary Character. South Wolf fell silent at Shifeng's calm reply. He clearly informed Shifeng of Underworld's background and its frightening might, yet, Shifeng still resolutely chose to oppose Underworld, refusing to hand over the flame. This was the first time South Wolf encountered such a case. If you think that, just by being acquainted with and backing of a gentle snow, Underworld will not dare target you, you couldn't be more wrong. South Wolf sneered, even the currently famous Ouroboros does not dare possess enmity against Underworld, not to mention a measly first vice leader. I'll give you one last chance to hand over the flame. That way, you can still play in God's domain comfortably. Otherwise, there will be no place to accommodate you in all of God's domain. It looks like you really don't understand human words. Or is there a problem with your intelligence? Shifeng laughed disdainfully. You wish to take something that belongs to me just with just a few words? Do you think that your family runs God's domain or something? I'll tell you one more time, if you have the ability, then come. I'm eager to see just what you can do to me. If it were his last life, Shifeng might have yielded. However, it was a different story altogether now. In this life, he possessed both the capital and confidence to challenge a gigantic existence like Underworld. After reincarnating, Shifeng's goal in life was to complete the dream he never accomplished in his previous life, establishing his own virtual empire. On this path, he was destined to make enemies of the many major powers of God's domain. If he lowered his head to Underworld now, how could he challenge the tyrants of God's domain in the future? How could he compete over the resources, territory, equipment, and such in God's domain? Although Underworld's influence was massive, and its influence in reality similarly great, when faced with God's domain, the globally acknowledged Second World, nary a power in the world could interfere with the main God system, not to mention a measly Underworld. Even if Underworld wished to investigate Shifeng's identity in real life, it was an impossible task to achieve. After over 100 years of operation and improvements, the privacy of players in virtual reality games was nigh perfect. It was also impossible to uncover a person's identity through virtual trades. Very good. Since it seems that you have truly steeled your heart to oppose Underworld, you better make your preparations to enter hell. South Wolf was so angry, he smiled. He truly did not think that there would be a person who did not fear death. Shifeng was but a single independent player, and he only dared speak those conceited words because he did not know the terror of Underworld at all. In South Wolf's view, Shifeng was just an arrogant and presumptuous fool who did not know fear. Underworld's main influence covered 2 empires and several kingdoms, Starmoon Kingdom included. As long as he reported this matter to the higher-ups, within a few days, an independent player like Shifeng would no longer remain mingling in God's domain. At that time, Shifeng would have no choice but to offer up that epic ranked flame. Hell, is it? I've enjoyed its atmosphere plenty of times before, and entering yours won't make any difference. Shifeng shrugged, smiling insolently as he spoke. Shifeng now possessed the ice blue devil flame. With his current battle prowess, he did not fear any player in the least. If they wished to gang up on him, he would use guerrilla warfare to deal with them. His leveling speed was extremely rapid, so he could afford to face off against them. He did not believe that there was any guild or power that could afford to waste that much manpower and resources to continuously battle him in Red Leaf Town. After speaking his piece, Shifeng disconnected the call. Brother Feng, what happened? Blackie could feel Shifeng's rage from the conversation he just had. Nothing much, it was just someone trying to rob me. Shifeng shook his head, casually describing Underworld as a bandit. We're better off thinking of a way to get information off of that elderly NPC. Okay, Blackie nodded, agreeing. Although Shifeng spoke lightly, Blackie knew that the matter was not as simple as Shifeng described. Blackie inwardly hated himself for not being any help to Shifeng. If he could become more powerful, he might be of help to Shifeng in the future. In actuality, Blackie was not alone in this train of thought. Lonely Snow also detected the abnormality in Shifeng's tone, and he similarly hated himself for being so weak and helpless. I must work harder to improve my technique and strength. At the very least, I can't remain as dead weight to Brother Feng. Suddenly, the two of them held an eager desire to increase their own strength. Meanwhile, after Shifeng hung up on him, South Wolf immediately contacted the upper echelons of Underworld. South Wolf, how is the matter regarding the epic ranked item coming along? Young Master Feng, I've already tried my best, but that brat Yi Feng still refused. He also looked down on Underworld, telling us to come at him if we have the ability. Ha ha ha. He's truly an interesting fellow. It is no wonder Snow is paying attention to him. I haven't met such an arrogant person for a very long time now. Since he has rejected my good intentions, let him disappear from God's domain. I'll give you the authority to mobilize all of Underworld in White River City, so quickly fetch me that item. Yes, this subordinate will definitely succeed. After the call ended, South Wolf released a sigh of relief. Listening to that person's tone, they were definitely angry. Otherwise, that person would not have given him the authority to mobilize the full strength of Underworld in White River City just to deal with a single Yi Feng. Yi Feng, let's see how long you continue acting freely. Very soon, I'll show what kind of place hell really is. Just thinking of Shi Feng was enough to cause South Wolf's belly to fill with rage. However, when he thought about how he could operate all the power of Underworld in the White River City region, he could not help his excitement. Although Underworld had a very low member count, each and every one of them were elite experts. Some were even the upper echelons of major guilds. If he gathered all of the members within the White River City region, the total power might even surpass that of a third-rate guild in White River City. Being able to mobilize such a power, just thinking of it gave him an invigorating feeling. Moreover, a majority of Underworld's members were players who walked the path of darkness. What they loved most was murder, and they were the best at dealing with independent players like Shi Feng. Meanwhile, as South Wolf thought of ways to deal with Shi Feng, the person, himself, was in the process of having a conversation with the NPC named Faust, albeit a one-sided one. According to Shi Feng's understanding, Faust was a strange old man. Although Faust was a strange old man, he was also a legendary character. He was once known as the Elemental Dominator. During his youth, Faust had once killed a mighty dragon and had even sealed the Great Demon King. A Great Demon King was the human equivalent of a Tier 5 class. Moreover, Faust was once a teacher to the Emperor of the Black Dragon Empire. Rumor had it that Faust had once fought against a god and survived the encounter. However, when he reached the age of 100, he suddenly started wandering all over God's domain. Right now, Faust was already an old monster that exceeded the age of 300. As to how powerful Faust was right now, Shi Feng was unable to properly discern that. In short, Faust's strength was immeasurably deep. Hence, it was extremely difficult to start a conversation with Faust. The first condition to do so was to have sufficient strength to attract Faust's attention. The second condition was to have delicious cooking. Only when both of these conditions were fulfilled would Faust give out a rare quest called Delicious Golden Fish. When this quest was completed, one could obtain a reward. In reality, displaying sufficient strength to Faust was a simple task. To do so, one merely needed to deal over 100 damage to the golden fish. However, it was an extremely difficult challenge for players below level 20 to cause over 100 damage. At the very minimum, one needed to be level 20 and possess a complete set of bronze set equipment and a mysterious iron weapon to achieve such damage. Moreover, before one displayed their strength, they needed to initiate a conversation with Faust. On the surface, Faust appeared to not take notice of players. In reality, he secretly paid attention. Yet, just when Shi Feng was about to inform Blackie and Lonely Snow about these conditions, the two of them started cursing at Faust. However, this could also attract Faust's attention. Having the backing of Chapter 153 Legendary Item. Chapter 153 Legendary Item. After attracting Faust's attention, Shi Feng's remaining task was to deal damage to the golden fish. These level 20 golden fish currently swam within the bright silver river suspended in mid-air. The river was around 25 to 30 yards above the ground, making it impossible for any normal melee class to attack the golden fish. Moreover, the golden fish had scales as hard as diamonds, and it was nigh impossible for players below level 20 to cause them over 100 damage in a single attack. The golden fish possessed a very high magic resistance as well, reducing the magic damage they received by 40%. Also, the golden fish swam at exceptionally fast speeds in the Silver River, making them extremely hard to hit. As a result, there were many players who gained nothing despite having found the Star River Valley. One thing that greatly differed God's Domain from other virtual reality games was that, in God's Domain, there were many of fortuitous encounters available out in the field. These encounters could allow a player to soar to fame and power overnight, and Shifeng had seen many such examples before. However, even though there were plenty of fortuitous encounters available in God's Domain, encountering one did not necessarily guarantee any harvests. Whether one could obtain anything from such an encounter depended on one's abilities. Blackie, Lonely, you two take this. Shifeng took 2 basic frost grenades from his bag, passing them to the two. Previously, to obtain the ice blue devil flame, he used a lot of the frost grenades he stocked up. Right now, there were less than 20 remaining, and they were not enough to deal with all the golden fish in the Silver River. What? Aren't these frost grenades' effects too powerful? These are godly tools for PK and grinding. If we could use them without limit, then our leveling speed would be absolutely heaven-defying, Blackie said, shocked, after taking a look at the frost grenades' introduction. Just imagine if they used these frost grenades to grind on groups of level 30 monsters. They might even level up once every minute. At that time, what would martial union amount to them? Just the level suppression alone would be enough to oppress them to death. It would be fantastic if we could get more of these. In the future, if PKers surround us, we wouldn't even have to use a single skill to deal with them. Just by throwing a dozen or so of these frost grenades, they would definitely fall dead. However, with effects as good as these, I'm guessing that these items should be extremely rare and precious, Lonely Snow lamented. Indeed. Not to mention using them for grinding and PK, just having a few of these tools of massacre as lifesavers would be good enough. The longer Blackie looked at the frost grenade in his hand, the more he could not bear to part with it. With this item in hand, he could use it to save his life at the most crucial of moments. Shifeng only revealed a smile at the two's reactions. He took out another frost grenade for himself, turning to look at the golden fish in the suspended river, saying, "Stop chatting. In a moment, I'll count down to 3, and we'll all throw our frost grenades at the golden fish together." Blackie and Lonely Snow looked at the frost grenades in their hands, reluctance filling their eyes. Brother Feng, using the frost grenades to deal with these golden fish is just too wasteful. The golden fish have 100,000 HP each. The 200 damage from these frost grenades will not make any difference. Moreover, these items can be used at a crucial moment to save our lives. Using them right now is simply a waste. That's right, leader. Blackie and Lonely Snow both tried to persuade Shifeng. His actions right now were simply that of a wastrel. Shifeng was dumbfounded and speechless at the two's persuasion. Previously, he had used these frost grenades to grind to level 9. Just use them with ease. I still have plenty of them in my possession. Later, I'll give every member of the party 30 of these frost grenades, Shifeng said with a laugh. Blackie and Lonely Snow were immediately shocked, even thinking that they had heard wrong. A frost grenade was such a precious item, yet, Shifeng planned to give each of them 30 in the future. This was simply madness. In the future, if they met those bastards from Martial Union, with the frost grenades in hand, couldn't they utterly massacre them? With Shifeng's assurance, the two of them followed Shifeng's instructions, throwing their frost grenades at the golden fish suspended in mid-air. Boom! The frost grenades exploded in the midst of the Silver River. Even though the golden fish were adept at dodging, the explosion radius of the frost grenades was extremely wide. Some of the golden fish that did not manage to escape immediately froze solid, damages of over -100 points appearing above their heads. Faust, sitting suspended in mid-air, stroked his white beard. He nodded his head, saying, "Not bad. It seems that you guys have some ability to actually cause some damage to these golden fish. Esteemed Lord Faust, we are only here to catch some golden fish to cook. We hope that our brutish actions did not disturb you." Shifeng acted courteously as he said, "Oh, I didn't think that you guys would be interested in cooking these golden fish." When Faust heard the word cook, a flash immediately appeared in his eyes. Since you guys wish to catch the golden fish, I wonder if you can help me catch some live ones as well? My strength is too strong, and I will simply kill these golden fish if I am not careful. This dilemma has left me with no choice but to slowly fish here. This, Shifeng said with a hesitant expression. Relax, I won't mistreat you all. As long as you can obtain a satisfactory amount of golden fish for me, I can trade some items for them. How about it? Faust casually waved his hand, and immediately, tens of items with pleasing appearances appeared and floated in mid-air. Every single one of these tens of items was extremely valuable. Moreover, beside the item's introduction, the amount of golden fish required to trade for the item was displayed as well. Brother Feng, look. That's a level 15 secret silver ranked staff. There. That's a mysterious iron ranked mage robe. Whoa. That's a fine gold ranked cloth armor armguard. Blackie instantly drooled at the sight of these items. Lonely Snow also discovered a level 15 fine gold ranked two-handed axe, his eyes sparkling at the sight of the weapon. Moreover, the attributes of the weapon were simply mind-blowing. If he equipped that weapon, his attack power would instantly soar by several times. He could get rid of an MT of the same level with just 2 to 3 attacks. However, amongst the many items, an item with a faint orange glow attracted Shifeng's attention. That was the glowing effect only found on legendary ranked items. A legendary ranked item? Shifeng was shocked. Previously, he had only heard of players obtaining an epic item at most from the Star River Valley. Shifeng had even doubted the reliability of the information. Now, however, it seemed that the information was indeed true. The rarity of a legendary item was several tens of times greater than that of an epic item. If a legendary item were already present among the rewards, it would not be strange for there to be an epic item as well. In Shifeng's previous life, even after he reached level 200 and became a top-tier Sword King, he did not possess a single legendary ranked item. To Shifeng, a legendary ranked item was but a fleeting dream. Only the extremely few Tier 4 Apex experts would possess 1 or 2 legendary items. It was obvious just how rare a legendary item was. Meanwhile, these players who possessed 1 or 2 legendary items, even if they were only at the peak of Tier 4, their battle prowess would not be any weaker than a Tier 5 player that did not possess any legendary items. It was apparent just how much of an improvement a legendary item provided to a player's strength. Shifeng did not think that, in this life, he would bear witness to a legendary ranked item. This situation was no different than a dream. It was not just Shifeng who discovered the legendary ranked item. Even Blackie and Lonely Snow noticed it, as the orange glow that the item gave off was simply too eye-catching. Brother Feng, I'm not dreaming, right? That's a legendary ranked item, right? Blackie pinched his own cheeks, saying. Meanwhile, Lonely Snow was speechless from excitement. He kept clapping Blackie's shoulders as he pointed towards the legendary item. You guys are not hallucinating. That is indeed a legendary ranked item. It is also something that I chanced upon. However, this item is useless to me. Although it is possible to obtain this item if you want it, it won't be so easy. Faust stroked his beard as he said with self-satisfaction. He felt extremely satisfied by the shocked expressions of Shifeng and the others. At this time, Shifeng had calmed down. Although a legendary item was right before his eyes, obtaining it was an entirely different matter. As for snatching the item away from Faust, that would be no different than suicide. They could only follow the rules to obtain it. Shifeng then clicked to look at the legendary item's introduction. Heavenly Dragon's Sacred Breath, Fragmented Legendary Rank. Chapter 154, A Quest That Is Impossible to Complete. Chapter 154, A Quest That Is Impossible to Complete. Fragmented Legendary Rank? Shifeng was slightly surprised, but he still felt that it was reasonable. In Shifeng's previous life, the statistics showed that, after operating for over 10 years, there were no more than 3,000 legendary ranked items discovered in God's domain. Right now, however, God's domain had only recently started operation. So, how would it be possible for a legendary item to appear here so easily? Just a fragment alone was already a miracle in and of itself. Blackie and Lonely Snow were dumbfounded after seeing that the item was only fragmented legendary rank. They got all excited over something that was completely different from what they imagined. As a result, their fiery, passionate hearts instantly cooled. Isn't this just a scam? Didn't you say that it was a legendary item? Why is it only a fragment? Blackie complained to Faust. It was no wonder the strange old man was so generous as to take out a legendary ranked item. In reality, it was only a fragment. It was not even close to a legendary item at all. You little brats, aren't you being too greedy here? Do you think that legendary ranked items are like cabbages? Do you think you can just find one in any random place? Faust, flabbergasted, scolded, moreover, do you think that you brats can successfully obtain it? You're better off looking for something else. I'm not trying to belittle you all, but with your current abilities, it is an absolutely impossible goal. Don't waste your energy on such thoughts. I will cast a spell to strengthen you all, give you the ability to float in mid-air, and deal increased damage to the golden fish. As long as you severely injure the golden fish, for a short time, the golden fish will enter a crippled state and won't be able to move. At that time, use these magical nets to catch them. Following which, Faust took out 3 golden-colored, magical nets, handing them over to Chiffon's group. He then chanted some incantations, providing Chiffon's group with over a dozen buffs, greatly increasing the three's attributes. Their attributes multiplied by almost 3 to 4 folds, and at the same time, they could ignore up to 15 levels. Who says we won't obtain? With such powerful attributes, the heavenly dragon's breath will definitely be ours. Looking at his increased attributes, Blackie's confidence instantly grew by over 100-fold. Lonely Snow nodded in agreement as well. He could not help but wish he could begin his assault on the golden fish immediately. Regarding Chiffon's strength, the two of them held an almost blind faith in it. Chiffon had simply shown them too many miracles. His battle techniques were even matchless. Ha ha ha. Young folk being so confident is a good thing indeed. However, you should first look at the exchange quantities. Faust stroked his white beard as he laughed. He did not mind Blackie's words at all. The three of them immediately checked the exchange quantities. Level 15 bronze ranked item and level 20 bronze ranked item required 1 to 2 golden fish. Level 15 mysterious iron ranked item and level 20 mysterious iron ranked item required 3 to 5 golden fish. Level 15 secret silver ranked item and level 20 secret silver ranked item required 10 to 15 golden fish. Level 15 fine gold ranked item and level 20 fine gold ranked item required 30 to 50 golden fish. Level 15 dark gold ranked item and level 20 dark gold ranked item required 100 to 200 golden fish. Fragmented legendary ranked item required 1000 golden fish. There were a lot of golden fish in the entire Silver River. At a single glance, one could tell that there were several thousand golden fish in the river. Blackie and Lonely Snow could not help but smile. Here I thought you required some astronomical amount. Isn't it just 1,000 golden fish? We'll quickly gather them up for you, Blackie laughed. Chiffon also felt that it would not be difficult for them to obtain 1,000 golden fish. Only, it would require a lot of time to do so. However, to obtain a fragmented legendary rank item, even spending several days would be worth it. Just as Chiffon and the other two were about to take action. Before you all start, I need to give you a small reminder. The Star River Valley will not remain in the Silent Swamp for too long. At most, it will disappear from the Silent Swamp in 4 to 5 hours. I, too, will disappear with it. If you do not hand the golden fish to me before that happens, you won't receive any rewards. Faust revealed a slight smile as he spoke. System: Rare quest delicious golden fish accepted. Within the allocated amount of time, catch as many golden fish as you can and hand them over to Faust. The more you catch, the better the rewards will be. Although there was a time limit, Blackie and Lonely Snow still brimmed with confidence. Even if they could not obtain other equipment, it would be enough if they obtained the heavenly dragon's breath. 4 to 5 hours, is it? Chiffon looked at Faust's smiling figure, inwardly feeling that the matter was not as simple as it appeared. Otherwise, Why would Faust be so generous as to show off a fragmented legendary rank item for exchange? However, time was of the essence. The three of them immediately started catching the golden fish. At this moment, Shifeng's communication notification rang up again. The call's requester was Gentle Snow. Miss Snow, I truly have to thank you for your support last time. Otherwise, those internet trolls would have painted me as a scammer, Shifeng jokingly said. In his heart, Gentle Snow was definitely someone worth his friendship, and all her care and aid towards him had clearly proven this matter. At least you still have a good heart, Gentle Snow laughed sweetly. More importantly, I'm contacting you this time just to ask you about a single matter. What happened? Shifeng inwardly felt that Gentle Snow behaved somewhat strangely today. Did you come into contact with people from Underworld? Gentle Snow suddenly asked. That's right, they contacted me, Shifeng nodded his head, saying. Hearing Shifeng's acknowledgement, Gentle Snow could not help but ask in curiosity, just what happened between you? Nothing much. They just wanted something from me, and I refused to give it to them, Shifeng calmly said. How could this be? Although I don't know what actually happened, don't try to trick me. If it is only a small matter like this, that person from Underworld would not specifically send me a message, telling me not to get involved. What exactly happened between you two? If you tell me the truth right now, I might be able to offer some help. Underworld's strength is definitely not something an unrated guild like Martial Union could compare to. Just its strength in White River City alone is probably more than 10 times that of Martial Union. There are also plenty of top-tier experts amongst their ranks that walk the path of darkness. If they go all out to deal with you, it might not even be safe for you to stay within the confines of the town. Gentle Snow's tone turned grave as she spoke. A hint of fear towards Underworld's power also colored her tone. She simply could not understand how an independent player like Shifeng could anger Underworld to such a degree. It was truly unbelievable. It's true. Why would I lie to you? They only wished to obtain something that I possess. I simply refused them and told them to bring it on, if they can. There really isn't anything else, Shifeng said with a bitter smile. You call that nothing else? I truly admire you right now. You are the first one to actually dare provoke Underworld in such a way. Gentle Snow nearly choked when she heard Shifeng's words. Fortunately, your matter isn't too severe. I'll try to explain to the management of Underworld and see if this matter can be settled. Hopefully this event will become bygones. Shifeng did not particularly mind the matter of Underworld trying to deal with him. In any case, adding one more to his list of enemies wouldn't make much of a difference. However, seeing Gentle Snow earnestly trying to help him, he couldn't just not give her face and reject her kind intentions. Thank you. No need for that. We're friends after all, and it is only natural for friends to help each other. Just don't forget to sell me any high-level equipment that you don't need in the future. Gentle Snow revealed a faint smile before hanging up. Soon after, Shifeng joined Blackie and Lonely Snow's fishing party. However, before Shifeng had even reached the golden fish and attacked them, he quickly discovered a problem. After his attributes increased, Blackie was comparable to a powerful level 20 Cursemancer equipped with a complete secret silver set equipment and a fine gold weapon. However, even then, Blackie's attacks dealt less than 400 damage to the golden fish. Moreover, the movement speed of the golden fish was extremely quick in the Silver River. Even if Blackie's techniques improved by quite a lot, out of 10 dark arrows he sent out, only 5 managed to find their targets. As a result, Blackie's damage output was greatly reduced. The golden fish's 100,000 HP was like a huge mountain. Meanwhile, on Lonely Snow's side, he felt even more helpless. The golden fish only dodged and did not attack. Not mentioning whether a melee class could land a hit, to begin with, just trying to chase after the golden fish was a big problem. In addition, the golden fish's physical defense was simply too high. Lonely Snow's normal attacks only dealt around 200 damage, and his overall damage output could not even compare to Blackie's. To strike a golden fish down to critical health, the two of them, with their strengths combined, needed to spend over 4 minutes concentrating their attacks. The total quest duration was only around 4 to 5 hours. At this rate, They could only catch around 70 golden fish within 5 hours. They would not even hit 1/10 of the required 1,000 golden fish. Chapter 155, Devour Once More. Chapter 155, Devour Once More. After spending a long amount of time, Blackie and Lonely Snow finally managed to catch a golden fish. At this moment, they both realized that they had greatly underestimated the difficulty of the challenge. Not to mention a fragmented legendary ranked item, even a dark gold ranked item was a fanciful delusion. This old man has already said that your strengths are just too weak. Stop thinking about the heavenly dragon's breath and be more realistic. Otherwise, you all might not get anything in the end. Faust, who floated in the air, smiled. In reality, Faust only teased Chifeng's group for fun by taking out the fragmented legendary rank item. In God's domain, even a fragmented legendary rank item was an incomparably precious item. Its value was over 10 times that of an epic ranked item. If one were lucky, one might even restore the legendary fragment into a true legendary ranked item. So, who would be willing to give it away? This was why Faust had set such an unreasonable and unattainable amount for exchange. That damned old man, he is clearly just toying with us. Blackie cursed in the party chat. Leader, what do we do now? Should we just give up on the fragmented legendary and dark gold ranked items and just go for a fine gold ranked item? Lonely Snow had already given up on an unattainable item. Chifeng shook his head, saying, "You guys focus on catching the golden fish. I'll try by myself." It was impossible for Chifeng to give up on the fragmented legendary rank item. Who knew when he would have another chance to meet with a fragmented legendary ranked item? Moreover, the difficulty of obtaining one at that time would definitely be much higher than now. If he couldn't even obtain a fragmented legendary ranked item, how could he secure a legendary ranked item in the future? Soon after, with his attributes now greatly increased, Chifeng rushed towards a golden fish that currently swam in the Silver River. Chop! A black light slashed at the golden fish's soft-sided abdomen. He struck the golden fish before it could even react, a damage of over -1,400 points appearing above its head. Immediately after, Chifeng sent a normal slash at the golden fish, causing over -800 damage. Following which, Chifeng brandished the silver lake in his hand. 3 electric arcs wove across 8 golden fish. Instantly, damages of -1,056, -1,384, and -1,758 appeared above their heads. In the blink of an eye, the golden fish lost over 6,000 HP. The frightening damage surprised Faust. Not bad, Faust praised as he stroked his white beard. However, he still did not hold a thread of belief that Chifeng could procure the heavenly dragon's breath. On the other hand, there was a large possibility for him to secure a dark gold ranked item. Brother Feng. Leader. Looking at the damage Chifeng had caused, Blackie and Lonely Snow forgot to continue attacking the golden fish as their eyes filled with fanaticism and excitement. With such frightening damage, there might really be a hope of completing the quest. Don't just stare at me, continue your attacks. Chifeng said in the party chat, his hands not halting their actions as he spoke. Chifeng's intense attacks quickly caused the golden fish's HP to fall at flying speeds. In the end, Chifeng had only spent about 100 seconds to capture a golden fish, using around 2/5 of Blackie and Lonely Snow's time. As expected, it's still not enough. Chifeng wrinkled his brows. At this rate, even if Chifeng continuously attacked and captured the golden fish without stop, he would, at most, capture 170 to 190 golden fish. There would still be an immense gap from the targeted 1,000 golden fish. Ha ha ha. Young man, you have truly given me a shock. However, I've already said this before, you all should not try to obtain the fragmented legendary ranked item. With all 3 of you combined, it would be good enough to trade for 1 or 2 dark gold ranked items, Faust laughed with confidence. Naturally, Chifeng did not give up at Faust's words. Suddenly, a clear blue flame appeared floating above Chifeng's palm. This flame was the ice blue devil flame. The ice blue devil flame wrapped around Chifeng's entire body, increasing Chifeng's damage by 20%. I've truly underestimated you. You can even control a mysterious flame. When Faust saw the ice blue devil flame, he was once more given a shock. Looking at the mysterious flame's power, it should be a Tier 2 mysterious flame. Mastering a Tier 2 mysterious flame at such a young age, you are truly not a simple fellow. Unfortunately, it is still not enough. With the support of the ice blue devil flame, Shifeng's damage soared once more. He then attacked zealously, filling the sky with sword images. Now, his normal slashes alone could deal over 1,000 damage, while his chop dealt over -1,700 damage. The most frightening was the thunder flame explosion, dealing over -3,000 damage. In the end, Shifeng only spent around 1 minute to successfully catch a golden fish. Moreover, thundering flash, earth splitter, and thunder flame explosion also dealt some damage to the other golden fish. Only, the cooldowns for these skills were too long. In addition to the golden fish constantly swimming about, never staying in a single place, the effects of these AoE skills were extremely limited. Continuing at this pace, Shifeng could catch somewhere over 300 golden fish in 5 hours. However, it was still a great distance from 1,000. Am I really not able to attain the fragmented legendary ranked item? Shifeng felt very reluctant. No matter what was said, a fragmented legendary ranked item was simply too rare. Finding one now was only due to heaven-defying luck. Ha ha ha. Don't be discouraged, young man. You have already performed quite well. If you all can capture 400 golden fish, I can trade you an epic ranked item. Consider it as a reward for your efforts, Faust smiled, consoling. It had been very long since he had seen a youth with such a fighting spirit. However, with Shifeng and the others' current standards, there was not a great likelihood they could earn even an epic ranked item. That damned old man, he only knows how to toy with us. Even if we have a full 5 hours right now, our chances of catching 400 golden fish are less than 40%, Blackie cursed in the party chat. Having learned his lesson, he no longer cursed out directly. My attack power is still too low, my attack speed is also too slow. I need an increase to my damage and speed. Shifeng entered deep thought as he tried to think of a way to increase his abilities. If he used the intermediate frost grenades, with all 3 of them bombarding a wide area of the Silver River, they might capture over 400 golden fish. The problem was, however, that he simply did not have that many intermediate frost grenades. Moreover, each intermediate frost grenade cost 10 silver coins. A single intermediate frost grenade could deal around -500 damage to the golden fish. Then, killing a golden fish would require 200 intermediate frost grenades, which would cost up to 20 gold coins. Taking into account the effective area of the frost grenades, every 200 frost grenades would kill around 20 golden fish, making the value of each golden fish the equivalent of 1 gold coin. Meanwhile, 1,000 golden fish would equal to 1,000 gold coins. Although purchasing a fragmented legendary ranked item for 1,000 gold coins was no different than daylight robbery, to begin with, Shifeng did not possess nearly that much money. Hence, this method was not feasible. What should I do? How can I increase my attack power? Shifeng flipped through his bag. He managed to think of over a dozen methods, but not one of them were feasible. At this moment, Shifeng discovered the level 10 fine gold ranked greatsword that he collected from the Sun Temple. This greatsword was something he had prepared for the Abyssal Blade's level up. He had completely forgotten about it due to being too busy. Now that he collected 10 silver dawns, he could level up the Abyssal Blade. That's right. If I can raise the Abyssal Blade to level 10, its attributes will massively increase. Maybe it would be possible at that time. Inspiration struck Shifeng. There would be a checkpoint for weapons at every 10 levels, and there would be a big improvement when these checkpoints were reached. Right now, the level 5 Abyssal Blade could rival a level 10 secret silver weapon. If it devoured a fine gold weapon and 10 secret silver weapons, it would undergo an impressive growth. Let's start devouring, then. Shifeng immediately chose to level up the Abyssal Blade, starting the devouring process. Chapter 156, Black Dragon Coming into Being. Chapter 156, Black Dragon Coming into Being. At a glance, the Karbaloo wilderness was comprised mainly of silt and gravel. There were also plenty of abandoned pastures and farmland. From time to time, sounds of crows cawing reverberated throughout the land. Level 10 monsters, such as white-tusk boars, large bisons, and vultures, roamed this land, and they were all extremely ferocious. At this stage of the game, a level 10 monster area was an extremely dangerous place for players. However, in a certain pasture in the Karbaloo wilderness, a 20-man team currently grinded on white-tusk boars. "We're almost finished clearing out the monsters over here. Little Shadow, go lure some more monsters over," a handsome youth commanded. This youth wore a set of golden armor and wielded a great sword. "Yes," the level 9 assassin called Little Shadow very respectfully answered. He then turned to lure more monsters. If an average player witnessed this scene, they would probably be incomparably shocked. A level 9 assassin wearing mysterious iron set equipment was definitely an expert of God's domain. No matter which large guild such an expert joined, he would be one of the upper echelons of the guild. However, such an expert was unexpectedly willing to take on the role of an errand boy, and there was not even a hint of resentment or rage in his eyes when treated as such. On the contrary, there was even a hint of pride in them. "What? Snow?" The golden-armored youth was slightly surprised when he received a communication request from this person. He picked up the call and spoke in a soft tone. "Snow, it's been a while since you've contacted me. How have you been recently? I really don't know why you insist on staying in a guild like Ouroboros. Won't you develop further if you join me in Underworld?" "Feng Xianyang, I've already said it before, I will not join Underworld. I will depend on myself to create my own legacy. I'm only looking for you today to ask for your help on a matter," Gentle Snow calmly said. "Say it, then. As long as it's a request from you, Snow, I will strive to fulfill it," the golden-armored youth immediately said with a smile. This was the first time Gentle Snow had came to him asking for help. Previously, Gentle Snow had constantly tried to put distance between them, so this was a golden opportunity for him to show off. "It's nothing big. It's about the message that you sent me before, telling me to stay out of that matter. I understand the crux of the problem, and isn't it just a small conflict? Moreover, Yifeng is a friend of mine. So, I hope that you can give me some face and let this matter go," Gentle Snow said. "Yifeng, is it?" Feng Xianyang wrinkled his brows. He did not think that Gentle Snow would ask him about this matter. "That's right, it's Yifeng. What are your thoughts?" Gentle Snow asked. "Since you've already spoken, naturally, there will be no problems. You can rest assured, I'll talk to my subordinates about it," Feng Xianyang smiled. Soon after, Gentle Snow disconnected the call. "Snow, why would you care so much about that Yifeng? You don't usually pay much attention to anyone else. Don't tell me you've taken a liking to that brat." Zhao Yueru, who stood beside Gentle Snow, giggled, the expression she revealed suggesting the two must be involved with each other. "You're overthinking things." Gentle Snow rolled her eyes at Zhao Yueru. She then said in a soft tone, "Moreover, don't forget who it was that gave us the potion-making recipe. Not only did it allow you to become an intermediate potion-making apprentice, but you are also earning a lot of money with it. Aren't you happily counting your silver coins all day right now?" "Fine, I admit that he was indeed a great help, so we ought to help him in return this time." Hearing Gentle Snow saying so, Zhao Yueru was like a kitten that had its sore spot poked, acting pitifully. "Moreover, Yifeng's help isn't limited to just that one time. It was only thanks to him that we managed to clear the hell mode of the Dark Moon Graveyard, allowing my position in Ouroboros to rise rapidly. Many elders in the guild have also changed their initial attitudes towards me, choosing to stand on my side instead. This result has saved me from many troubles, and I haven't even gotten the chance to thank Yifeng for this yet. Helping him with a small matter like this is nothing." Gentle Snow then continued, "If Underworld still doesn't give up and still wishes to deal with Yifeng, I can only use that move. However, since Feng Xianyang has already agreed, there should be no problems." On the other side, after Feng Xianyang ended the call, his face paled with anger. Feng Xianyang could not understand just what sort of relationship Gentle Snow had with that Yifeng for her to actually speak up for him. Feng Xianyang had been trying to woo Gentle Snow for so long, yet, she had paid him no attention from the start. Right now, Underworld was just teaching Yi Feng a lesson, yet gentle snow immediately came calling. The degree of care that she gave Yi Feng was abnormally high. It had even reached a degree that caused Feng Shenyang jealousy. Feng Shenyang had both money and power. He was also incomparably handsome. He was hundreds of times better than that Yi Feng in every way. Yet, gentle snow chose to pay attention to Yi Feng instead. There must be a problem here. However, Feng Shenyang was extremely clear about gentle snow's daily lifestyle. There was no chance that a minor character like Yi Feng could meet her in real life. The only possibility was in God's domain. There must be something that he had here that led to gentle snow treating him so well. If Yi Feng remained in God's domain, the two of them might have a deeper development. The more Feng Shenyang thought about it, the more plausible it seemed. Feng Xuanyang's eyes gleamed with a cold glint. He had no intentions of watching his years of effort go to waste. I absolutely cannot let that Yi Feng remain in God's domain. He would not tolerate Yi Feng's continued contact with gentle snow. He needed to get rid of Yi Feng immediately. Only with Yi Feng gone would there be no possibility of any development occurring between him and gentle snow. Young Master Feng, do you have any commands? South Wolf respectfully asked. I want you to break apart the relationship between Yi Feng and gentle snow. Think of a way to turn them against each other, then make Yi Feng disappear from God's domain. However, you cannot let others know that Underworld is involved in this matter. Do you understand? Feng Shenyang coldly said. Understood. This subordinate will carry out your orders. However, I hope that young Master Feng can allot me some more helpers. That way, I can do things more easily. Southwolf smiled as he spoke. Fine. I'll send a party from the Underworld Guards to assist you. However, you have to carry things out more beautifully, Feng Shenyang said. Hearing the name Underworld Guards, Southwolf was shocked into a jump. He simply did not know how Yi Feng had provoked young Master Feng to unleash the Underworld Guards, the core strength of Underworld. Moreover, it was not tasking just an individual, but a full party. Young Master Feng, rest assured, this subordinate will carry out your orders without fail, Southwolf assured. Star River Valley. The abyssal blade in Shifeng's hand suddenly emitted pitch-black flames. These black flames instantly wrapped around the fine gold-ranked greatsword and the 10 silver dawns. The flames radiated a scorchingly hot temperature as they melted these weapons. The temperature of the black flames was on an entirely different level compared to the ice-blue devil flame. In the blink of an eye, even the fine gold-ranked greatsword melted into a lump of metal, the abyssal blade continuously absorbing the essence of the weapon. After the devouring process completed, the abyssal blade flared with a gigantic black flame. The black flame was like a living being, transforming into a black dragon. The size of the dragon was like a great mountain with the height of around 200 to 300 meters, and pitch-black scales that were even harder than steel covered its entire body. Soon after, the black dragon released a heaven-shaking roar, instantly scattering the dark clouds in the sky. The roar of the dragon shocked the entire Star River Valley, and even the golden fish in the Silver River were shocked still, not moving at all. Magic weapon. Faust, who floated in mid-air, instantly knew what was happening when he saw the black dragon's appearance from the abyssal blade. His constantly calm expression before even showed signs of shock right now. How is this possible? A young fellow like you actually controls a magic weapon and haven't felt its curse yet. Chapter 157, Battle Prowess Dramatically Rises. Chapter 157, Battle Prowess Dramatically Rises. The appearance of the black dragon instantly sent Blackie and Lonely Snow into shock. Just standing on the ground and feeling the roar that rang through the skies was enough to cause one to tremble with fear. As for the flames surrounding the black dragon, the temperature it radiated increased the temperature throughout Star River Valley by more than 10 degrees. The black dragon had thoroughly frightened them stiff. The black dragon glanced at its surroundings, its sight stopping on Faust momentarily before shifting to Shifeng. It isn't trying to kill me, right? This was the first time Shifeng had personally witnessed a dragon. In God's domain, dragons were the symbol of power and destruction. It was obvious just how terrifying dragons were. Not to mention, the dragon before him right now was a king amongst dragons, the Black Dragon King. Young man, relax. It died long ago, and this is merely a phantom of its past. It cannot hurt anybody at all. It has only materialized itself now because you allowed the magic weapon to devour and obtain new power. Faust could see the worry in Shifeng's eyes, hence, he explained with a smile. As expected, the Black Dragon King before Shifeng simply stared him, taking no other actions. However, even if it were just a phantom, it was still enough to frighten a person greatly. If the actual body of the Black Dragon King were here right now, it might have instantly turned the entire Star River Valley into a sea of flames, a living hell. Shifeng and the others would not have remained standing there, safe and sound. After a moment, the shadow of the Black Dragon King dissipated, turning into black flames as it returned into the abyssal blade. Immediately, the abyssal blade began its transformation. Unknown silver-colored runes suddenly appeared on the pitch-black blade in Shifeng's hand. The abyssal blade itself gave off a faint illusion of being surrounded by black flames. There was also a dragon coiling around the hilt of the sword now. A single glance was enough to tell that the abyssal blade was no ordinary item. Is this the new power of the abyssal blade? As Shifeng held the abyssal blade, he felt the misconception of two minds connecting with each other. It felt as if the abyssal blade were becoming another part of his body, and moving it was no different than stretching his own arm. Aside from this misconception, the attributes of the abyssal blade also underwent an earth-shaking transformation. Abyssal blade, one-handed sword, magic weapon. Attack power plus 96. All attributes plus 22. Attack speed plus 6. Ignore levels plus 7. Attacks have a 30% chance of causing 200% damage, 10% chance to cause 300% damage, 20% chance to induce doom curse, reducing all attributes by 40%, lasting 30 seconds. If wielder belongs to any swordsman job, all skill levels plus 3. Increase free ability points received by 2 points for every increase in level. Equipment level 10. Can be leveled up. Devour 10 level 15 mysterious iron equipment and 1 level 15 secret silver equipment to level up to level 15. Can be evolved, unknown. Additional skill 1, Phantom Kill. Instantly creates a doppelganger. You can control this doppelganger. Doppelganger will have 50% of original body's attributes and all skills. At the same time, doppelganger and the original body can be swapped. Duration of 40 seconds. Cooldown, 5 minutes. Additional skill 2, Abyssal Bind. Binds enemies and prevents movement, reducing defense by 100%. Duration of 3 seconds. Cooldown, 1 minute. Additional skill 3, 9 Dragon Slash. Instantly create 9 phantoms of the abyssal blade for the wielder's use. Each phantom sword is capable of dealing up to 30% damage. Duration of 28 seconds. Cooldown, 5 minutes. Additional skill 4, Dark Violent Dance. 40% of the total damage dealt spreads in a cone-shaped area towards targets within a distance of 12 yards for 30 seconds. Cooldown, 1 minute. The Abyssal Blade was personally created by Master Smith Ulysses using the Black Dragon King's fangs as material. It is one of 36 famed swords, and it is ranked 31st. However, this sword has been cursed by the Black Dragon King. Aside from providing the wielder with immense strength, there will be a backlash every period of time. However, after being remodeled by Jack using a star crystal, the strength of the backlash has been greatly reduced. If the wielder is unable to suppress the backlash, the wielder will receive the curse of the Black Dragon King, permanently reducing all attributes by 50%. Unable to be dropped. Unable to be traded. It looks like, if the Abyssal Blade devours better quality weapons, the resulting improvements are also greater. Shifeng was extremely satisfied by the Abyssal Blade's improvements. Right now, the Abyssal Blade's attack power has reached the standard of a level 10 Dark Gold ranked two-handed weapon, not to mention its frightening attributes. Just the chances of causing a double damage critical hit increasing to 30% was a frightening improvement, not to mention the chances of inflicting the Doom Curse increasing to 20%. As long as the target was cursed, all their attributes would be reduced by 40%. It was a fatal power. Let's test out the new power. Shifeng tightened his grip on the abyssal blade as he looked towards the thousands of golden fish swimming in the silver river. The heavenly dragon's breath will definitely be mine. Young man, you are still better off giving up. Although you have greatly increased your weapon's prowess, it is still impossible for you to obtain the fragmented legendary ranked item, Faust said with a smile. It was not that he looked down on Shifeng, rather, he was extremely clear about the difficulty of the challenge he had set. If Shifeng reached level 20 right now and possessed a complete set of level 20 fine gold set equipment, in addition to a level 20 magic weapon, he would then have a chance of completing this quest. However, it was clear that Shifeng had yet to reach such a standard. Moreover, he was still far from achieving it. On the other hand, there was a great possibility that he could earn an epic ranked item now. What if I used this? Shifeng suddenly took out the freezing shadow he previously obtained. Freezing shadow, dart type consumable item. Usage count, 10,000,10,000. Causes 120% frost damage towards a target. Only effective towards enemies that are level 30 and below. No cooldown. At a glance, even Blackie and Lonely Shadow, who were familiar with Shifeng, might not understand this item. The freezing shadow darts could only attack a single target at a time. Compared to using a skill to cause damage, it was much weaker, so how could it possibly reach the target of 1,000 golden fish? Faust could not help but shake his head, silent as he turned back to his fishing. Blackie, Lonely Snow, come over here and help me capture the golden fish. Shifeng flew up to the silver river as he spoke to his companions. Although the two did not know what Shifeng was trying to do, they still chose to trust him unconditionally. Let's start, then. After the two of them made their preparations to capture the golden fish with the magical net, Shifeng also finished his own preparations. Immediately after Shifeng activated the ice blue devil flame, he rushed towards the group of fish with the abyssal blade in one hand and the freezing shadow in the other. Shifeng then slashed the abyssal blade towards the spot with the highest concentration of golden fish. Thundering flash. Instantly, 3 electric arcs weaved across over 20 golden fish, inflicting frightening damages of -1846, -2389, and -3201. There were also some golden fish that received critical hits, doubling the damage they received to -3692, -4778, and -6402. There were even some that felt the doom curse upon them, immediately reducing their attributes by 40% and their maximum HP to 60,000 points. Earth Splitter. Thunder Flame Explosion. After the 3 massive AoE skills, every golden fish Shifeng struck lost at least 20,000 HP. The ones that received critical strikes lost over 30,000 HP, while those that received the doom curse instantly lost close to half of their HP. Seeing these damages, Blackie and Lonely Snow were both dumbfounded. They even thought that they were dreaming. Scatter and Go, Dark Violent Dance. After using the 3 massive AoE skills, he wielded the freezing shadow as he activated the Dark Violent Dance. Shio, shio, shio. Instantly, more than 10 freezing shadow darts pierced the golden fish inflicted with the doom curse. Every dart caused over -1,700 damage. Simultaneously, the damage spread effect of the Dark Violent Dance caused over -600 damage to each of the surrounding golden fish. In the blink of an eye, over 100 golden fish had their HP reduced. Unlike the frost grenades, the freezing shadows did not have a cooldown. The number of darts a player could toss out within a fixed period of time depended solely on their attack speed. Due to the attribute improvement of the Abyssal Blade, Shifeng's attack speed had become much faster. In addition to Faust's buff, Shifeng could easily throw out 20 freezing shadow darts simultaneously. However, in an attempt to pursue stability and accuracy, Shifeng limited the number of darts he tossed out to 12 at a time. Due to Shifeng's unrestrained damaging, the HP of the golden fish afflicted by the doom curse madly reduced. Very quickly, the 60,000 HP of these golden fish fell to a critical level, forcing them into a crippled state. Chapter 158, The Final Violent Dance. Chapter 158, The final violent dance. Lonely, I'm not dreaming, right? Blackie slapped Lonely Snow's shoulders, his finger pointing towards the group of crippled golden fish. Lonely Snow's gaze turned sluggish as he shook his head in a daze. Compared to the rapid decrease of the golden fish's HP, Lonely Snow was more shocked by Shifeng's techniques. He only managed to see the countless shadows left behind by Shifeng's hands. Before Lonely Snow could even get a clear view of Shifeng's hands, more than 10 freezing shadow darts already flew out. Such speed could practically rival an assault rifle. Aside from Shifeng's frightening speed, his accuracy also caused others to submit. Every dart he shot out had accurately landed on the golden fish afflicted with the doom curse. Moreover, they even landed on the softer side abdomens of the golden fish. If Lonely Snow were in Shifeng's shoes, it would be fortunate if he could toss out one freezing shadow dart at a time and land the hit, not to mention tossing out more than 10 darts at a time and land every single one on the side abdomens of the golden fish. I'll be satisfied when I can achieve such a level of technique. Lonely Snow was completely trapped in the fantasy of Shifeng's dart-throwing technique. Stop daydreaming and quickly capture the crippled golden fish, Shifeng hurriedly commanded. At this time, Blackie and Lonely Snow were finally aroused from their thoughts. They immediately used the magical nets to capture the crippled golden fish. 1 fish. 2 fish. 3 fish. Shifeng only spent a short 30 seconds to force 3 golden fish into a crippled state. Shifeng's violent speed had shocked even Faust himself, and he could not help but feel a slight ache in his heart. However, when the effects of the damage amplification, doom curse, and dark violent dance dissipated, the capturing speed of the golden fish immediately slowed. Shifeng could only wait until the cooldown for Thundering Flash, Earth Splitter, Thunder Flame Explosion, and Dark Violent Dance to finish before renewing his assault. Overall, Shifeng's group captured an average of 5 golden fish per minute. Within 1 hour, they could capture around 300 golden fish, and within 4 hours, they could collect the required 1,000 golden fish and complete the quest. Time passed, little by little. Unknowingly, over 4 hours passed by already. We're rich. We're rich. Lonely, how many fish did you catch? I got 618. You. Ha ha ha. I have more than you. I have 645. We'll have 1,263 if we add them together. We've already reached the targeted 1,000 to trade for the fragmented legendary ranked item. Leader, hang in there. We should still have some time remaining. We might even gather another 100 or so golden fish to trade for a dark gold ranked item. Blackie and Lonely Snow captured the golden fish in exhilaration. As they watched the number of golden fish continuously grow in their bags, they could not suppress even a smile on their faces. The only misfortune in this situation was that Shifeng could not raise his skill proficiency by attacking these golden fish. He also did not obtain a single point of experience from his efforts. If he killed this many level 20 special elites in a normal situation, the 3 of them would have long since risen by 2 or 3 levels. However, Shifeng did not feel much from this. It was only Blackie and Lonely Snow who did not know of the rarity of a fragmented legendary ranked item. They might not get another chance to secure one for a very long time. To obtain the fragmented legendary ranked item, the Heavenly Dragon's Breath, right now, even spending 1 to 2 days would be worth it, not to mention spending only several hours. Shifeng's strength would soar if they possessed a fragmented legendary ranked item. As long as he equipped it, even when faced with apex experts, he would still suppress them with overwhelming strength. In God's domain, there were none willing to follow a weakling. Players would only revere the strong. If Shifeng wanted to establish his own virtual empire, he first needed to empower himself. Only then could attract others to follow him. During the early stages of God's domain, players like Shifeng, who had yet to start up their own workshops, had 0 chances of competing against the various large guilds. In God's domain, there were plenty of high-leveled field bosses that dropped valuable loot. There were even some that would drop dark gold ranked items. If lucky, players might even encounter a High Lord ranked monster. Although High Lord ranked monsters were incomparably powerful, they possessed a small chance to drop an epic ranked item. As for the usefulness of an epic ranked item to a guild, That was obvious. Not only could it increase a player's personal strength, allowing them to kill even more powerful monsters, they would also attract plenty of famous players to join the guild, further increasing the guild's overall prowess. In regards to dealing with high-level monsters or High Lord-ranked monsters, large guilds could simply use numbers to overwhelm them. Although they would have to pay a heavy price, everything would be worth it if they could obtain top-tier equipment. Meanwhile, small guilds and workshops did not have such capabilities, and such a situation would allow the large guilds to have a much easier time procuring top-tier equipment. As more time passed, the gap between the two would continue to grow larger and larger, and soon, the small guilds would have no chance to compare to large guilds at all. Although developing a guild with a massive amount of members was an easy task, it was a long and arduous process to fully persuade these players to willing stay in the guild and share in the wealth and woe together. Time was necessary for the members to improve their cooperation with each other. A guild also needed a core framework that could properly manage the guild members. Aside from that, a guild needed sufficiently attractive incentives and treatment to attract new members. It also needed to have a massive space for improvements and wonderful future prospects. Meanwhile, having wonderful future prospects meant having a powerhouse as a leader. None of these points could be missing. Otherwise, the recruited members would easily choose to leave the guild. For guilds like Martial Union, Assassin's Alliance, and Ouroboros, they had long since formed a sturdy foundation. They were also led by apex powerhouses. Hence, the moment they entered a new virtual reality game, they would very quickly develop themselves. They also continuously recruited a large number of players. Hence, even if they suffered massive setbacks, they would very quickly rise again. Meanwhile, for startup guilds like Shadow, they did not even possess a proper welfare system. If they wished to recruit a large number of players within a short period, they might cause an adverse effect, entering a period of stagnation and maybe even a period of declination. Thus, Shifeng chose to go down the road of the elite. He planned to first form a powerful team as the guild's foundation. He would then improve it steadily, gradually increasing the guild's member capacity. He would not follow in the footsteps of Shadow, where the guild appeared superb on the outside, but in reality, it was riddled with holes, unable to withstand even a single blow. If Shifeng wished to form a sturdy foundation, powerhouses were a definite must, even more so for a newly established guild and workshop like Zero Wing. Without strength that surpassed others, how could they suppress those other experts and recruit them into the guild? Only with great strength would Zero Wing show others the possibilities of advancement in their guild. Meanwhile, the fragmented legendary ranked item was unquestionably a great source of strength for Shifeng. Time is almost up. I should start the final spurt, then. After battling at full power for over 4 hours, Shifeng was drenched in sweat. Be it mentally or physically, he was exhausted near to collapsing. If it were not for the attraction of the fragmented legendary ranked item, he would have long since fainted into a deep sleep. Soon after, Shifeng took out all the frost grenades he had in his possession and all of the Tier 1 magic scrolls he had. He then distributed them to Blackie and Lonely Snow. These items are very precious. We'll use them together. Absolutely do not waste them, Shifeng sternly said in the party chat. Brother Feng, rest assured. I'm a cursemancer, so it will not be a problem for me to release these Tier 1 magic scrolls. Leave it to me. Blackie and Lonely Snow could also feel the weight of these items. Not mentioning the frost grenades, just the value of such a large quantity of Tier 1 magic scrolls was immeasurable. If any accidents occurred, their losses would be abnormally huge. Attack that group of golden fish with me, Shifeng tossed out an intermediate frost grenade, solidifying a group of golden fish in place. He then used Thundering Flash, inflicting a damage amplification effect and the Doom Curse on them. Soon after, he unfurled a Fire-type Tier 1 magic scroll, blasting an attack at the group of golden fish. Blackie and Lonely Snow also tossed out their frost grenades at the same time, freezing all the golden fish. They then followed up by using the Tier 1 magic scrolls, immediately starting violent bombardment. A series of explosions resounded throughout the Silver River, giving rise to layers upon layers of waves. The shocking damages caused the HP of the group of golden fish to roll downwards frantically. Compared to Shifeng's initial burst, This burst was much more powerful. Watching this, Faust could not help but wipe away the cold sweat that formed on his forehead. Are these young lads trying to snatch even my family inheritance away? Chapter 159, The Forgotten History. Chapter 159, The Forgotten History. The power of Tier 1 magic scrolls far surpassed the capabilities of the magic of players at this stage of the game. The might of fire-type and ice-type magics that Shifeng wielded was especially frightening. A Tier 1 AoE scroll, Flame Explosion, instantly caused over -6,000 damage to the golden fish, while another Tier 1 AoE scroll, Cold Wind Blowing, caused over -5,000 damage. With all three members of Shifeng's group attacking simultaneously, the golden fish had nowhere to hide. Due to being frozen by the frost grenades, the golden fish were unable to move at all. Tier 1 magic scrolls bombarded them with magical attacks, one after another, rapidly reducing the golden fish's HP and sending them into a crippled state. After an all-out burst lasting more than 10 minutes, Shifeng completely exhausted all of the attack-type Tier 1 magic scrolls he obtained from the Moonlight Forest. They had also fully depleted the frost grenades he bought from the Blackwing City. If totaled, the value of all of the items used was at least 20 gold coins. This loss could bankrupt a normal guild. However, their harvest during these 10 minutes or so was bountiful. They captured a total of 247 golden fish during this time, increasing their total accumulated number to 1510 golden fish, far exceeding Shifeng's initial estimation. They had perfectly achieved the quest's targeted number. Brother Feng, here's the golden fish I collected. Here's mine as well. Blackie and Lonely Snow excitedly handed over all the golden fish they captured to Shifeng. Anticipation filled their eyes as they waited for Shifeng to trade for the Heavenly Dragon's Breath. They wanted to see just how powerful the attributes a fragmented legendary ranked item were. Just as Shifeng received all the golden fish, hesitation appeared on his face. Originally, his goal from the beginning had been the Heavenly Dragon's Breath. Now, however, he had an additional 500 or so golden fish in his possession, far exceeding his initial estimates. He did not know just what sort of items he should trade for with these extras. Brother Feng, what's wrong? Blackie curiously asked as he noticed Shifeng's thoughtful expression. Nothing much. I want to ask you guys for your opinions. Right now, we have over 500 extra golden fish, so we can gain plenty more items with them. If we trade them for dark gold equipment, we can get 2 to 3 pieces. If we convert them to level 15 fine gold equipment, we have enough for more than 10 pieces. If we trade them for secret silver ranked items, we can outfit the entire party with them, greatly increasing the party's strength. However, we can also exchange 500 golden fish for an epic ranked item, Shifeng said. When everyone reaches level 15, the entire party can be fully equipped with level 15 secret silver equipment. Blackie trembled with excitement just from the thought of it. Although they still needed some time before they reached level 15, and by the time they reached that level, the scarcity of equipment would have decreased, an entire party fully geared with secret silver equipment was not a feat that even a first-rate guild could achieve. Even the elites amongst the elites of these first-rate guilds would, at most, have 1 to 2 pieces of secret silver equipment. Moreover, the equipment would be level 10, not level 15. Possibly, only those very few Apex experts that reached level 15 could gather a full set of secret silver equipment. However, it would still be impossible for them to gather a complete set of level 15 secret silver equipment. This meant that the moment all the members of the Zero Wing party reached level 15, they would instantly soar to become an Apex party in God's domain. None of the elite parties of the major guilds would be their equal. We could surpass all the elite parties of first-rate guilds and become the topmost level 15 elite party in God's domain? Lonely Snow grew excited as well. What do you guys think? Shifeng asked. Blackie and Lonely Snow entered deep thought. This was an extremely grave matter, as it was a problem related to the future development of the Zero Wing workshop. After the three of them gave the matter some thought, Blackie suddenly said, Brother Feng, my suggestion is to trade for the epic ranked item. Although it would be awesome for our party fully equip secret silver equipment the moment we reached level 15, It isn't exactly impossible for us to get more secret silver equipment in the future. Meanwhile, an epic ranked item is definitely something we won't encounter again. We also don't know when we'll get another chance like this. This is an extremely rare opportunity, so we need to grab it without hesitation. Although an epic ranked item can only raise a single person's strength, its benefits to the party not that great. However, with a single powerhouse in the party, we will have a much easier time obtaining secret silver ranked items. On the other hand, even if we had a party fully geared with secret silver equipment, we won't obtain even a single epic ranked item. When considering the future, level 15 secret silver equipment will sooner or later be worthless. However, it is a different matter for an epic ranked item. It can bring us longer-lasting benefits. I also agree. To a large guild, the improvements brought about by an epic ranked item might not compare to over 100 pieces of secret silver ranked items. However, these large guilds are still willing to use hundreds of secret silver ranked items to trade for just a single epic ranked item. The reason being, although having 100 or more secret silver ranked items could temporarily increase our strength, what about the future? Leader, I think we should exchange for an epic ranked item instead. Blackie and Lonely Snow exchanged looks with each other. They had both given Shifeng their most earnest opinions. They both believed that, once Shifeng grew stronger, by the time they reached level 15, he could outfit them with a pile of good equipment. So, why should they carry out an action that was the equivalent of killing the chicken to get the egg? I get it. I'll take a look and see whether or not the epic ranked items available for trade will be of any help to us in the future. If they are useless, then I'll exchange for a dozen or so fine gold ranked items. Shifeng nodded his head. In reality, Shifeng had thought of this matter as well. However, he couldn't be too selfish either. Compared to a fragmented legendary ranked item, an epic ranked item was not as important. Hence, when trading for other items, he needed to consider everyone else's opinions. After all, this was a result that was only possible through everyone's joint efforts. Young adventurer, here is the list of items. Have a look, and simply tell me whichever items you wish to trade, Faust said with a stiff expression. He truly did not expect the young fellow before him to be so powerful. To actually obtain the heavenly dragon's breath that he had treasured for so many years. He had not been willing to sell it in the past, even when someone offered 30,000 gold coins. Yet, today, he was trading it away for only 1,000 golden fish. Shifeng looked at the list of items, discovering that there were 3 additional epic ranked items available for trade. There was a necklace called Heart of Light, a longbow called Starchaser, and a staff called Mavis's Guard. As for the dark gold ranked items and fine gold ranked items, there were a ton of them available. Almost every kind of item was available. However, the item that aroused the most attention was still the fragmented legendary ranked item, the Heavenly Dragon's Breath. It was needless to be mentioned that the Heavenly Dragon's Breath had to be purchased. As for the remaining 3 epic ranked items, one of them was a longbow, a weapon for rangers, and it was useless to their current party. Hence, only the necklace and staff remained as options. However, when Shifeng looked at both the attributes of these items, he was instantly speechless. He could not decide which item would bring the greatest personal improvement to his party. Which one should I choose? Shifeng's gaze kept switching between the 2 epic ranked items before him, indecisive. Faust only revealed a smile at this sight. What he loved watching the most was the distressed appearance of young people. After hesitating for a long time, Shifeng suddenly recalled a name in his memories from long ago. This name had once resounded throughout God's domain. However, after going through the ravages of time, this name slowly became unknown and forgotten. Esteemed Lord Faust, I wish to exchange for the Heavenly Dragon's Breath, Mavis's Guard, and this level 15 secret silver ranked ring, the Ring of Glory, Shifeng said. How do you know about this matter? Listening to the items that Shifeng wanted to exchange, Faust was instantly dumbfounded. He fixedly stared at Shifeng, asking in disbelief. Chapter 160 Shocking Attributes. Chapter 160 Shocking Attributes. Great. The gamble paid off. It really is a treasure left behind by that great existence. Shifeng inwardly felt immense excitement. However, he did not reveal it on his face, maintaining a calm outward expression. To Faust's shock and questioning, Shifeng did not give out an answer. He only revealed a mysterious smile at Faust. "Esteemed Lord Faust, I wonder if I can purchase these items?" Shifeng asked once more. "Ha! Maybe this too is fate," Faust sighed. He then said, "Since you've already made your choice, you have to use this strength properly. The total is 1,510 golden fish for all 3 items. Esteemed Lord Faust, here are 1,510 golden fish." Shifeng handed over the golden fish, receiving 3 items in return. He had made a huge profit from this trade. Actually, Shifeng did not think that his luck would be so heaven-defying after his reincarnation. In Shifeng's previous life, 6 years after God's domain began, Shadow accidentally discovered a level 150 lost ruin. Moreover, to fully explore the lost ruin, they had sacrificed a disastrous amount of resources. However, they did not obtain anything significant from this exploration, only managing to find a golden book on a goddess statue. There was nothing special about this book. It was simply a book made of pure gold, so it did not rot easily. Recorded in the book was a segment about a long-forgotten history. Meanwhile, one of the phrases within the book contained the name, Mavis. During that ancient era, Mavis was likened to a god, and she was referred to as the god of light. Compared to the strange old man, Faust, Mavis was much stronger. Aside from that, Shifeng had not a clue about who Mavis was. Even so, an item left behind by a legendary existence much stronger than Faust would not be an ordinary item. Meanwhile, Blackie and Lonely Snow stood silently in confusion as they watched Shifeng. They did not understand why Shifeng was so joyful. However, listening to Faust's words, they faintly felt that they had gained a great advantage from the trade. "Young man, seeing that fate has allowed us to meet, let me give you a warning. The magic weapon in your hand is extremely terrifying. Sealed within the magic weapon is the curse of the Black Dragon King, which even I will not face. This curse is extremely formidable, and even if the lucky stone suppresses it, sooner or later, you will have to face it." Faust's caution was grim. He then continued, saying, "While you allow your magic weapon to absorb more power, you also strengthen the curse suppressed within the weapon. Remember that a magic weapon is a double-edged sword. If you wish to obtain extraordinary strength, your will must be extraordinary as well. Otherwise, strength will, soon or later, devour you whole. Maybe, this is also fate. Although the heavenly dragon's breath is only a fragmented item, it could still, more or less, aid you in resisting your magic weapon's backlash. If you can fully restore the heavenly dragon's breath, it will bring you unimaginable benefits. Strive harder, young man." Finished speaking, Faust's body vanished, while the entire Star River Valley gradually faded from existence as well. System: Rare Quest Delicious Golden Fish completed. Rewarding 300,000 EXP reputation in White River City +10. Shifeng instantly rose to level 12, a golden glow enveloping his body. Immediately after, a golden glow also coated Blackie and Lonely Snow, both of them reaching level 11. "This quest is too awesome. It instantly gave me 150,000 EXP, Blackie said, entranced. Lonely Snow also nodded, saying with a smile, "I also received 140,000 EXP. With this, our Zero Wing party dominates the top 3 positions of White River City. If others know of this, our Zero Wing workshop will become famous. We might be more than famous, those other players from major guilds might even be dumbfounded. Those bastards from Martial Union would regret becoming enemies with us. The next time we meet them, I will teach them a good lesson." Confidence about the future filled Blackie's heart. Now that his level was so high, and his equipment was excellent, even if he encountered several experts from Martial Union, he could still kill them all. While Blackie fantasized, the Star River Valley had completely disappeared. Only the dark silent swamp and dying forest remained around them. "Brotherphone, that strange old man looked so shocked just now. Just what did you obtain from him?" Blackie curiously asked. "Nothing much. I got the fragmented legendary ranked item, the Heavenly Dragon's Breath, an epic ranked staff, Mavis's Guard, and a secret silver ranked ring, the Ring of Glory. Shifeng shared the information of the items with the other two. Heavenly Dragon's Breath, ring, fragmented legendary rank. Equipment requirement, strength 200, agility 200, intelligence 120. Strength plus 40%, agility plus 40%, intelligence plus 30%, endurance plus 30%. Movement speed plus 20%. Attack speed plus 30%. Ignore levels plus 10. All item level requirements reduced by 10 levels. Additional skill 1, Dragon's Authority. Suppress all enemies in the surroundings with the might of the Heavenly Dragon, inflicting the fear status onto enemies within a 30-yard distance, reducing their attack power by 20%, attack speed by 20%, and movement speed by 20% for 1 minute. Cooldown, 3 minutes. Additional skill 2, Dragon Breath. Inflicts 6x damage in a 305-yard line in front of you. There is a 20% chance to induce the fainted state for 2 seconds. Cooldown, 5 minutes. Additional skill 3, Heavenly Dragon's Power. Allows the user to temporarily possess the power of the Heavenly Dragon, increasing HP by 300%, strength by 100%, and defense by 300%, and grants immunity to all controlling effects for 2 minutes. Cooldown, 3 hours. The Dragon Slayer Mechasiru once owned the Heavenly Dragon's Breath. It was originally a legendary ranked item possessing the suppressed strength of the Dragon tribe. Due to damage resulting from a war between gods, its might has greatly decreased. However, the Heavenly Dragon's Breath possesses an incomparably strong magic power and possesses the potential to restore itself. Its past glory may be restored with 3 magic stars and 1 dragon's heart. Current restoration, 04. Mavis's Guard, staff, epic rank. Level 1, level 60. Equipment requirement, intelligence 80. Attributes adjust according to user's level. Magic damage plus 20%. Maximum mana plus 20%. Mana consumption minus 10%. Ignore levels plus 10. All magic type skills plus 2 levels. All item level requirements reduced by 10 levels. Additional passive skill, Spear of Light. There is a 15% chance to trigger this skill when attacking, launching a Spear of Light at the target and causing 200% magic damage. Additional skill 1, Guardian of Light. Grants a target immunity to all magic damage, reduces physical damage by 80%, and recovers 5% HP every second for 20 seconds. Cooldown, 20 minutes. Additional skill 2, Stars of Light. Deals 500% magic damage to targets within a 5-yard radius, or deals 300% magic damage to targets within a 20-yard radius. The damage scales up by 10% every second for 15 seconds. Cooldown, 30 minutes. Mavis's Guard was once a staff blessed by the god of light, Mavis. It possesses incomparably powerful magic. However, due to the limited materials used to make the staff, it is unable to display its full might. Its maximum level can increase to level 100 if a master forger uses 5 radiant godsteel to reforge the staff. Ring of Glory, ring, secret silver rank. Level 15. Equipment requirement, intelligence 40. Intelligence plus 24, vitality plus 15, endurance plus 10, strength plus 8, agility plus 8. Increases damage of all light-type magic by 15%. These are a fragmented legendary ranked item and an epic rank item. Aren't they too OP? Blackie and Lonely Snow's eyes nearly popped out of their sockets when they saw the attributes of the 3 items. Previously, they thought that the attributes of a secret silver weapon were already powerful. Only now, after seeing these attributes, did they understand that no matter how strong you were, there would always be someone stronger than you. In the face of fragmented legendary ranked items and epic ranked items, secret silver ranked items were simply trash. Chapter 161, Frightening Damage. Chapter 161, Frightening Damage. Seeing these items' attributes, even Shifeng himself was greatly shocked. It was the first time he had witnessed the attributes of a fragmented legendary ranked item. In his previous life, The attributes of fragmented legendary ranked items were all kept secret by their respective owners, so others could only guess the actual attributes. He truly did not think that the heavenly dragon's breath would be so powerful. Instead of increasing a fixed amount of attributes, it had a percentage-based increase of the user's attributes. It was no wonder the powerhouses who possessed legendary ranked items claimed that only a powerhouse could use the full potential of such items. Even if a weakling obtained one, the bonuses would not be significant. If Shifeng could equip the heavenly dragon's breath right now, with his current attributes, he could easily kill a level 20 elite player. Unfortunately, with the equipment requirements of 200 strength, 200 agility, and 120 intelligence, Shifeng could only helplessly stare at it. Right now, his strength was only at 111 points, with only 123 points in agility, and a measly 50 points in intelligence. He was still far from possessing the required attributes. With the magic weapon he possessed, he would obtain 2 more free attribute points than other players for each level up. Even so, if he wished to equip the heavenly dragon's breath, he needed to be level 20, at the very least, and own a full set of level 20 fine gold equipment. Blackie, see if you can equip Mavis's guard and the Ring of Glory. Shifeng handed the 2 pieces of equipment to Blackie. Shifeng had made considerations when he chose these 2 pieces of equipment. He could not always carry everyone in the party, as he still had many things he needed to tend to. However, if he wanted his party to level up quickly, the party needed a powerhouse to lead it. Meanwhile, the matter regarding an epic weapon was extremely important. The person he could trust the most was Blackie, so he could feel secure passing both the Mavis's Guard and Ring of Glory to Blackie. With the improvement brought about by these 2 pieces of equipment, Blackie's damage output might even surpass his own. After all, his magic weapon was currently only the equivalent of a dark gold weapon. It was still a distance away from rivaling an epic weapon. Moreover, Blackie was a mage class, and Blackie's grinding speed was originally faster than his. In addition, the skills Mavis's guard granted were extremely powerful. Blackie would have a much easier time leveling up the party than he would. Alright, then. At first, Blackie hesitated. He felt that he did not possess the qualifications to wield this epic weapon in the least. However, looking at Shifeng's serious attitude and trust, he nodded his head earnestly. Although the requirement of 80 intelligence was very high, Blackie was already level 11. His character's attributes massively increased. He also had a few pieces of secret silver equipment. After he added all his attribute points he received from leveling up into intelligence, he just barely reached the staff's requirement, managing to equip Mavis's guard. Right now, Mavis's guard was a level 11 epic ranked staff. The staff increased numerous attributes. There was also an additional critical attribute that gave a 20% chance of magical attacks achieving a critical hit. It was much more powerful than Blackie's original goal. Mavis's guard also reduced the level requirement for equipment by 5 levels. After Blackie equipped the Ring of Glory and the previously obtained level 15 mage class mysterious iron equipment and bronze equipment, he was completely born anew. He now gave others a faint oppressive feeling. This isn't real, right? My intelligence has reached 186 point. Blackie exclaimed, looking at his attribute panel. Compared to before, the 186 intelligence was more than double what he had before, not to mention the increase in his magic damage. His overall attributes had exceeded even the currently most powerful mage class by at least 2-fold. He could possibly one-shot a properly geared level 10 MT. Too powerful. Lonely Snow gazed at Blackie's dazzling attributes with admiration. Even so, he would not feel jealousy over Blackie. After all, this was a natural matter as he had only recently joined Zero Wing Workshop. Just the aid he received in leveling up and the amount of secret silver equipment were already unimaginable, not to mention receiving an extremely important item such as an epic ranked item. On the other hand, it would be extremely strange if he received an epic ranked item that he could use right now. Moreover, when Lonely Snow looked at Shifeng's carefree reaction as he gave Blackie the epic ranked item, he knew that, as long as he performed well in Zero Wing Workshop, there was bound to be a day where he could obtain his very own epic ranked item as well. Hence, He did not need to be jealous over Blackie. An epic weapon is as frightening as expected, Shifeng said with a smile, looking at Blackie's attributes. Normally, an epic ranked item's level would grow along with its user. Only when Blackie reached level 60 could he display the true potential of Mavis's protection. The potential displayed by the level 11 Mavis's guard was but the tip of the iceberg. Moreover, Shifeng knew of plenty of locations which hid epic ranked items. However, he did not have the ability to retrieve them right now. He also did not have a powerful team, so he had no way of obtaining those epic ranked items at the moment. He could only wait until his workshop developed before setting out to claim them. Brother Feng, let's go kill some elite monsters. I want to see the awe of an epic weapon. Blackie looked at Shifeng, restless with anticipation. Fine, let's go look for some, then, Shifeng replied with a smile. During that year when he held his first epic ranked item, he, too, was as excited as Blackie right now. He had been extremely eager to test out his strength on powerful monsters. Very quickly, under Shifeng's leadership, the trio located a level 17 rare elite, the Swamp Lizard. Swamp Lizard, rare elite. Level 17. HP 200 000 200 000. I'll lure it over. Lonely, try to restrict it as it attempts to spit out grey fog and use caution. Blackie, pay careful attention while you kite it. Make sure you maintain your distance from it, Shifeng spoke in the party chat. The Swamp Lizard was the most challenging rare elite in the Silent Swamp. If it was not for reaching level 12, the Abyssal Blade having upgraded to level 10, and Blackie's possession of Mavis's guard now, he would not have chosen to fight this monster at all. The Swamp Lizard was a physical melee-type monster. However, it could deal a lot of damage. With a single claw attack, it could take away more than half of a normal level 15 MT's HP. Its attacks also carried an additional petrification effect that slowed the target. Moreover, the Swamp Lizard's movement speed ranked at the very top of all the monsters found in the Silent Swamp. If a normal level 15 party met it, the usual result would be a party wipe. Soon after, Shifeng circled the Swamp Lizard. Without holding back, he activated the Ice Blue Devil Flame. He then used Wind Blade, his swords piercing towards the back of the Swamp Lizard. Two damages of -288 and -224 points appeared above the Swamp Lizard's head. Compared to when Shifeng dealt with the three-headed snake demon, his damage had greatly increased. However, to the Swamp Lizard, which possessed 200,000 HP, such damage was negligible. With an angry bellow, the Swamp Lizard slashed its claws at Shifeng. Shifeng dodged to the side, sending a level 7 chop slashing towards the Swamp Lizard's waist. A damage of -1058 popped up above the Swamp Lizard's head. The Swamp Lizard immediately released a pained wail, its steel-like tail turned into a black shadow as it swiped at Shifeng. Shifeng quickly reacted. He leaped into the air and dodged the attack, distancing himself from the Swamp Lizard at the same time. Lonely Snow took this chance to use charge on the Swamp Lizard, interrupting the Swamp Lizard's follow-up attack. He then sent a violent strike at the Swamp Lizard's back, causing -28 damage. Lonely Snow nearly spat out blood when he witnessed this damage. However, he was utterly helpless about it. Not mentioning the level suppression, the Swamp Lizard's physical defense was extremely high. Moreover, Lonely Snow could only deal this amount of damage due to reaching level 11 and wielding a secret silver weapon. Otherwise, he wouldn't even deal over 10 damage. Let me see just how amazing you are, Mavis's guard. Blackie had waited in frustration. He shot out a level 7 dark arrow strengthened by the Mavis's guard. When the skill blasted the Swamp Lizard's body, a damage of -712 points appeared above its head. Immediately after, Blackie's attack triggered the passive skill on Mavis's guard, the Spear of Light. A silver-colored Spear of Light struck the Swamp Lizard once more, landing a critical hit of -1354 damage. The damage was far more powerful than Shifeng's attacks. Immediately after, Blackie used Evil Whip. 9 thick chains constricted the Swamp Lizard. When the Swamp Lizard broke free from one of the chains with much difficulty, a damage of -116 points appeared above its head. By the time it broke free from all the chains, Evil Whip had caused close to -1,000 damage. Due to Blackie's intelligence reaching over 100 points, he activated the intermediate hidden passive skill for intelligence, Quick Chant. The passive greatly reduced the time required for chanting spells, increasing Blackie's rate of attack. As a result, damages in the hundreds continuously appeared above the swamp lizard's head in quick succession, its HP decreasing like water flowing from an opened tap. This is too powerful. This is an epic weapon. Lonely Snow was tongue-tied from watching this scene. Blackie was similarly dumbfounded. In addition to Shifeng controlling and damaging the swamp lizard, before even a minute had passed, the swamp lizard fell dead. It dropped 4 items in total, a level 15 mysterious iron equipment and 3 rare materials. Come on, let's look for a place with plenty of monsters to release the Stars of Light. Seeing that even normal spells were so powerful, Shifeng highly anticipated witnessing the staff's additional AoE spell. Chapter 162, Chieftain One Eye. Chapter 162, Chieftain One Eye. Level 15 Monster Area, Silent Swamp. Leader, where are we headed? Brother Foam, wasn't there a herd of swamp hippos just now? Blackie and Lonely Snow followed after Shifeng all this time, moving deeper into the silent swamp. They could not figure out just what kind of monster Shifeng intended to test the Stars of Light on. The Stars of Light has a cooldown of half an hour. It would be a huge waste to use it on just a group of level 15 common monsters. Right now, we're going to a place with monsters that are much stronger and more numerous, Shifeng explained. Even the level 17 rare elite swamp lizard died with ease. It was obvious just how high Blackie's damage had become, not to mention a skill like the Stars of Light. The skill could possibly one-shot the level 15 swamp hippos with only 2,000 HP each. That would not properly display the true might of the Stars of Light. Only by seeing the skill's full potential could Shifeng make an accurate judgment. He could then let Blackie lead the others to the most suitable high-level monster area to level up. That way, be it Martial Union or Underworld, neither could locate Blackie and the others, much less surround them. Under Shifeng's lead, after the trio reached the core area of the Silent Swamp, they discovered a large, naturally occurring, marsh. All around, there were a total of 5 groups of level 20 swamp rhinos. Occasionally, they spotted a few level 20 elite twin-horned rhinos. There was also a small island situated in the middle of this large marsh, and a gigantic figure laid flat on this island. This gigantic figure was a 2-story tall rhino. From a distance, the trio could vaguely see the information of this large rhino. It was a monster named Rhino Chieftain One Eye. Brother Foam, isn't this a little too dangerous? Witnessing so many level 20 rhinos gathered together, Blackie felt his confidence waver. Swamp Rhino, common monster. Level 20. HP 3 203 200. Twin-horned rhino, elite monster. Level 20. HP 17 517 5000. Rhino Chieftain One Eye, special elite. Level 20. HP 50 00050 000. Common monsters were still fine. However, it would be extremely dangerous to tangle with elite monsters, not to mention special elites. Even if Shifeng were very powerful, and his movements extremely agile, when surrounded by so many monsters, he would still meet his end. Only here can the Stars of Light display its true might. I'll think of a way to lure even more monsters, so choose when you cast the spell carefully. Shifeng surveyed his surroundings, his mind planning his route. Leader, this is too dangerous. On the off chance that we die, it would be a huge loss, Lonely Snow opposed. The monsters here were not numbered in the 20s or 30s, but in the hundreds. Every one of them could trample a level 15 player with ease, not to mention the elite monsters or the special elite monster. Moreover, with their currently low levels, the monsters would have an easier time discovering them. They could easily be surrounded, and at that time, only death awaited them. If I activate a speed scroll, my speed will be faster than theirs. However, when I lure all of them over, Blackie, I need you to use Guardian of Light on me, then use Stars of Light. You don't need to panic. Just maintain a calm heart, and you will be fine. Seeing Blackie's nervous expression, Shifeng spoke with a smile. I get it, Blackie nodded, suppressing the panic in his heart. Soon after, Shifeng sent Blackie and Lonely Snow to a slightly elevated location. On his own, Shifeng activated a speed scroll before rushing towards the rhinos. The rhinos immersed in the marsh quickly discovered the intruder. After all, Shifeng's level was simply too low. He was only level 12, and there was a huge distance from level 20. In addition, Shifeng did not attempt to hide his movements in the least, making it even easier for the monsters to discover him. Within moments, over 20 rhinos stood and rushed towards Shifeng. Although the marsh did not reduce movement speed by half, it still reduced it by 30%. Fortunately, this movement speed reduction was also effective against the rhinos. Now that Shifeng had used a speed scroll, catching up to him was impossible. Shifeng followed along the route he had planned before and circled the central island. He intended to lure all the rhinos in the marsh, aside from the one atop the central island. The rhino chieftain One Eye on the central island was extremely difficult to deal with, and it would be a huge loss if he lost his life as a result of an accident. Hence, Shifeng had no intentions of luring it. Brother Feng. Leader's movement technique is truly powerful. If I were in his place, those rhinos would have already turned me into meat paste. Standing on high ground, Blackie and Lonely Snow watched Shifeng use various movements and methods to dodge the attacks from the group of rhinos. They could not help but wipe away the sweat permeating their foreheads. The number of rhinos Shifeng lured grew larger and larger. He had only run half the distance, yet he lured over 100 rhinos. Every time he dodged an attack, the rhinos would dangerously scrap past his body. However, after witnessing this scene repeat itself over and over, Blackie and Lonely Snow discovered that Shifeng successfully dodged every single time. He would always dodge the attack at the very last millisecond. He relied purely on technique to do so, and there was not a hint of luck or coincidence at all. Blackie and Lonely Snow both engraved this scene deeply into their minds, resolving themselves to learn from Shifeng in the future. With an expert like Shifeng demonstrating the moves, they would not have to spend time slowly exploring these techniques. After watching for only a moment, the two of them had benefited greatly. They could not help but wish they could try out these dodging techniques right this instant. Just when Shifeng thought that all was within his control, an elite twin-horned rhino suddenly appeared in front of Shifeng, charging at him. Although Shifeng used parry to block this attack, his entire person was still sent flying. By rotten luck, he landed on the edges of the central island, alarming the rhino chieftain One Eye. Discovering that a human had disturbed its rest, One Eye abruptly stood up. It glared at Shifeng with its blood-red eye, its front hoofs gouging the solid ground as it released an angry roar. Suddenly, it charged at Shifeng with its steel-like horn. Compared to the other rhinos, this rhino chieftain One Eye possessed an extremely fast speed, and not even the marsh could impede its immense charging power. This was the rhino chieftain One Eye's skill, Violent Charge. Even a level 20 MT would instantly die if One Eye's horn smashed into them. Knowing that he wouldn't be able to dodge, Shifeng activated Defensive Blade. He then used Chop, the abyssal blade slashing at One Eye's horn. Due to the Defensive Blade's absolute defense effect, Shifeng did not retreat by even an inch. Instead, a damage of -367 points appeared above the rhino chieftain One Eye's head. Such a tough defense. Shifeng was slightly shocked. However, Shifeng did not intend to continue entangling with the rhino chieftain One Eye. The moment One Eye used War Trample, Shifeng used silent steps to appear behind a swamp rhino that was 30 yards away, successfully evading One Eye's attack. Ayo! One Eye became further enraged when it saw that its target had evaded. It immediately charged at Shifeng. However, it did not use Violent Charge this time, so its speed was only slightly faster than the other rhinos. Blackie used the skill. After arriving at the appointed location, Shifeng stopped and spoke into the party chat. Although his plan did not include luring the rhino chieftain One Eye, the plan still had to proceed. He simply had to be more careful now. Leave it to me, Blackie had long since waited with anticipation. Immediately, a golden brilliance descended upon Shifeng's form. This was the effect of the first additional skill of Mavis's Guard, Guardian of Light. For 20 seconds, Shifeng became immune to all magic damage. He also enjoyed 80% physical damage reduction and 5% HP recovery every second. Following which, Shifeng activated the Tier 2 Life Shield, his maximum HP soaring. Over 200 rhinos surrounded Shifeng. If it were a level 20 MT standing in place of Shifeng, that MT would have long since been trampled to death. However, Shifeng could hold on. Through evading alone, Shifeng managed to dodge over 60% of the attacks sent at him. In addition to Guardian of Light recovering 5% of his HP every second, he was able to hold on to his life. Almost. Shine out, Stars of Light. When Blackie saw all those monsters grouped together, he used Mavis's Guard's other skill, Stars of Light. After chanting the final verse of the incantation, Blackie lost half of his mana in an instant. Immediately after, Blackie pointed his staff towards the sky. The dark clouds hovering above the large marsh were instantly pierced and disappeared. The sky trembled, and suddenly, a gigantic golden magic circle appeared in the sky, shining down on the core of the silent swamp. Chapter 163 Mad Leveling. Chapter 163 Mad Leveling. This is. Shifeng looked towards the sky, discovering that this magic circle was much more powerful than he imagined it to be. Even a Tier 2 spell wasn't as mighty as this. The magic circle actually shook the sky. This was definitely not something a Tier 2 spell was capable of. Although Shifeng did not know exactly how powerful the Stars of Light was, as long as its might surpassed that of a Tier 2 spell, it would be enough to deal with the rhinos chasing after him. Such a powerful magic power. Blackie looked at the sky, towards the light element that madly gathered in the magic circle, with eyes filled with disbelief. This was the most powerful magic he had seen since he started playing God's Domain. As the magic circle in the sky gathered an endless amount of magic, the rhinos on the ground panicked. They started sieging Shifeng desperately from all corners in an attempt to dispel the fear in their hearts. As a result, Shifeng had to deal with the simultaneous attacks from over a dozen swamp rhinos. The space available for him to evade was extremely limited. Fortunately, he had a physical damage reduction of 80%, and he could generate 5% of his HP every second. Faced with no chances of dodging the incoming attacks, Shifeng abruptly leaped into the sky and activated the ice blue devil flame. The clear blue flame instantly covered his body, while the power of thunder and fire gathered around the abyssal blade. Thunder flame explosion. The moment the abyssal blade struck down, thunder and fire engulfed and devoured all the monsters within a 5-yard radius. Damages of -626 points appeared above the heads of the monsters, and there were even some rhinos who received critical strikes, succumbing to over -1,000 damage. All the rhinos Shifeng's attack struck fell into a fainted state, unable to move for 4 seconds. The monsters surrounding Shifeng in a fainted state formed a natural barrier, granting Shifeng a short breather. Is it starting? Shifeng detected that the golden magic circle in the sky had finished gathering magic power. The magic circle then transformed into a shooting star, falling from the sky. Before the shooting star collided with the ground, Shifeng cast Thundering Flash at the Rhino Chieftain One Eye. Unfortunately, the 3 streaks of thunder did not deal much damage to One Eye. All 3 attacks only caused around a total of -900 damage. However, Shifeng's aim was not its damage, but the additional 20% damage amplification effect. It would allow the Stars of Light to inflict massive amounts of damage to One Eye. Finally, the golden shooting star reached the ground, landing in the center of the rhinos. An explosion occurred, and a blinding light devoured every inch of the large marsh. From a high position, Blackie and Lonely Snow saw damages of over -1,000 points appearing above all the rhinos in the marsh. There were also plenty that received critical strikes, receiving over -2,000 damage. Furthermore, the rhinos close to the epicenter received damages of over -3,000 points, and some even received frightening damages of over -6,000 points. A level 20 swamp rhino only had 3,200 HP, while the elite twin-horned rhinos had 17,500 HP. Even the Rhino Chieftain One Eye only had 50,000 HP, minus 3,000 damage was not a light injury. Ayo! One Eye was enraged. It immediately directed its furious gaze at Blackie. It was not just the Rhino Chieftain One Eye. All the other rhinos also redirected their rage to Blackie, as the damages Blackie caused were simply too high. There were many swamp rhinos that instantly died from this single attack. However, during the time these rhino monsters directed their angry gazes towards Blackie, a second golden-colored shooting star appeared in the sky. It, too, descended. This time, the impact of the shooting star caused 10% more damage than the previous one. This attack wiped out all of the level 20 swamp rhinos, and only the high HP elites and Chieftain One Eye remained alive. However, this was not the end. With every passing second, for a total of 15 seconds, a shooting star would appear and descend from the sky. Moreover, each shooting star would deal 10% more damage than the previous one. The elite-ranked twin-horned rhinos could only hold on until the fifth shooting star before dying out completely. Meanwhile, Chieftain One Eye remained alive. Its angry gaze turned deadly as it glared at Blackie atop the high slope. Chieftain One Eye instantly went berserk, its defense and attack power greatly increasing as it charged forth. "I won't let you go." Shifeng used Wind Blade and arrived in front of the Rhino Chieftain One Eye. He then stabbed the Abyssal Blade at it. Abyssal Bind. 9 abyssal chains instantly coiled around One Eye, preventing it from moving even an inch. Following which, streak after streak of stars of light crashed down into the marsh. From the initial minus 3,000 damage, the damage had now accumulated up to over minus 7,000 damage. Rhino Chieftain One Eye's 50,000 HP very quickly drained to zero. It then vanished within the blinding light, leaving behind a pile of items. After the stars of light ended, the entire marsh fell deathly silent. All the monsters within had turned into ashes, leaving behind piles upon piles of items. At the same time, golden light surrounded the bodies of both Blackie and Lonely Snow. Within an instant, their levels jumped from level 11 to a little beyond level 13. Shifeng had also risen to 92% of level 13, only a thread away from level 14. Blackie looked at the staff in his hands, then looked at the marsh. He did not know how to express the emotions that filled his heart. Not only had the stars of light kill the level 20 elite monsters, it even killed a level 20 special elite. Its intense might far exceeded Blackie's imagination. Previously, they had enjoyed an extremely envious leveling speed. Now, however, it was no longer envious, but shocking. They rose by 2 levels in just slightly over 10 seconds. Moreover, they had risen from level 11 to level 13 and not from level 1 to level 3. Even elite players would have to grind for 5 or 6 days to obtain such a frightening amount of EXP. However, they achieved it in the blink of an eye. This is simply too formidable. If this skill is used in a team battle, no matter how powerful the enemy team was, they would still have to surrender. Lonely Snow unconsciously shuddered as he spoke. Only now did they truly understand why all those large guilds were so desperate to obtain an epic ranked item. Even if they had to sacrifice countless members, they would still willingly choose to overwhelm those powerful monsters with the lives of their people. As long as they obtained an epic ranked item, be it leveling up or securing high-level equipment, everything would become a lot easier. The current scene before Blackie and Lonely Snow was the perfect example. Not to mention a special elite, the Stars of Light could inflict massive damage to even a chieftain-ranked field boss. This was definitely not a feat that a party, fully equipped with secret silver equipment, could achieve. The aid rendered by an epic-ranked item to a workshop's development was simply immense. It far outstripped the usefulness of more than 100 secret silver-ranked items. The massacre the Stars of Light caused yielded Shifeng's group with plenty of level 15 to level 20 bronze and mysterious iron equipment. There were also plenty of varying gemstones. At the very least, the total value of all these items was 10 gold coins or more. It's finally over. Shifeng let loose a relieved breath. If it were not for the Stars of Light, he definitely could not contend with a level 20 special elite that went berserk. However, he managed to verify the prowess of the Stars of Light personally. He could now send Blackie and the others to the level 22 map, the Crystal Forest, to level up. The drop rate for gemstones in the Crystal Forest was much higher than in the Moonlight Forest. Not only could they level up quickly, but they could also earn a lot of money and extremely precious gemstones and equipment. Moreover, it would be impossible for their enemies to locate Blackie and the others, killing 3 birds with 1 stone. After the trio tidied up all the loot, Shifeng intended to make a trip back to town to clear up his inventory. Leader, the situation you wanted me to investigate has already occurred. Several guilds have started taking action. Should we start taking action now? Kola, who was in Red Leaf Town, suddenly contacted Shifeng, his face filled with excitement. Great. Just in time. I've waited a long time for this moment. Our Zero Wing workshop should also start taking action now. Shifeng smiled brightly. It's about time we show off Zero Wing Workshop's strength. Chapter 164, The First Crisis. Chapter 164, The First Crisis. Kola was at a loss when he heard Shifeng's words. Show the strength of Zero Wing Workshop? Others had constantly targeted the 3 of them, so they had been hiding in Red Leaf Town all this time. They had no chances to leave town to grind and quest, and they were all only level 7 right now. They were only slightly stronger than the average player. They had no chances of competing with the members of other guilds at all. If this situation continued, their levels would, sooner or later, fall behind even the average players. Is leader telling us to go level up? Kola grew excited at the thought of this possibility. This is too great. We're being stifled to death by constantly staying in town. It would be fine even if we have to slaughter our way out. You 3 wait for me inside the hotel in the trade area. I'll be there soon. Shifeng did not further explain, only revealing a faint smile. Brother Feng, what happened to make you so happy? Blackie curiously asked, seeing Shifeng's joyous smile. Something good. You 2, stay here and continue leveling up. I'll bring Kola and the others later on. After you carry them to level 10, go to White River City to do some high-level quests, Shifeng said. Brother Feng, rest assured, now that I'm fully geared in level 15 bronze and mysterious iron equipment and possess Mavis's protection, carrying Kola and the others will be a breeze, Blackie assured his leader. He was level 13 right now and even had an epic ranked staff. If he could not carry Kola and the others to level 10 quickly, he might as well revert to playing with mud rather than play God's domain. When Kola and the others see our levels, they will be shocked. And when they see Blackie's epic ranked staff, the Mavis's protection, they will be stunned speechless. I am even eager to see their expressions, Lonely Snow joked. That's right. Kola and the others could not possibly imagine that, within just a short few hours, we went from hiding from Martial Union's pursuit to reaching to level 13. We've taken the top 3 rankings within the Star Moon Kingdom and even possess an epic weapon now. Compared to before, it is like the difference between heaven and earth. If I were in their shoes, even I wouldn't believe it. Blackie grew even more joyful at the thought of the shocked expressions of Kola and the others. You guys, Shifeng helplessly smiled at the sight of his 2 teammates. Soon after, he took out a return scroll, teleporting to Red Leaf Town. At this moment, there were a lot of changes occurring in Red Leaf Town as well. The number of players purchasing equipment in the trade area grew larger and larger, and an endless stream of shouts for purchase filled the air of the trade area. There were many new players walking around and looking at the stalls set up throughout the street, looking for required items and equipment. Meanwhile, inside the hotel at the trade area. I've previously asked you guys to collect hard stones, so just how many have you actually collected? Why is the number of whetstones still 0? Unstable Devastation's expression turned grim as he asked. He abruptly stood up after taking a look at his subordinate's report. Boss Unstable, under your commands, we desperately tried to purchase all the hard stones available. However, we're not sure why, but hard stones are extremely scarce on the market right now. Moreover, they're very expensive. After much determination, we only managed to collect slightly more than 4 stacks. However, our guild has only recently started nurturing forgers, so their success rate of making whetstones is extremely low. So, that subordinate timidly said. Peng. Unstable Devastation slammed his fist onto the table, snarling, "You bunch of useless waste. I clearly notified you all of this matter long ago, and 3 or 4 hours have passed already. Yet, you guys couldn't even produce a single whetstone? How is the elite team supposed to level up this way? Why do I even need you guys here? Boss Unstable, maybe the other guilds have discovered the issue of their weapons deteriorating quickly? Maybe that's why we only managed to purchase a few stacks of hard stones," the berserker, 5 Rats, said. That's a high possibility. After all, it isn't only our guild leveling up in high-level monster areas. However, hard stones aren't exactly rare, and they can be obtained from level 2 monster areas or above. Moreover, normally nobody touches those things, so there should be a huge stockpile available in Red Leaf Town right now. There should also be plenty of players selling them on the auction house. We also discovered this matter fairly quickly, so even if the other guilds have taken action, it is impossible for them to buy them all out immediately. Unstable Devastation nodded, then shook his head again. He could not make any sense of the situation. After they started hunting Yifeng's party, they discovered that the durability of their weapons fell extraordinarily fast. In the beginning, they paid no attention to it, only focusing on leveling up and their search for Yifeng's party. However, before they found Yifeng, their equipment and weapons were already close to scrap. Without a choice, they had to give up their search for Yifeng, returning to town to repair their equipment. Although the journey back wasted a lot of time, the elite team's equipment was extremely precious. If they did not repair it all in time, resulting in their equipment turning into scrap, the guild would suffer an irrecoverable loss. Moreover, without the equipment, they would also have no way to grind and level up. Thus, they needed to return and repair their equipment. After repairing their equipment, Unstable Devastation began hearing complaints from his subordinates. The repair fees were too expensive, they said. The cost of repairs had nearly depleted all the money they had. As for classes that wore plate armor, they were even forced to borrow money from others for the repair fees. This situation dumbfounded Unstable Devastation. These players were all elites amongst elites. Normally, they carried a lot of money on their persons, and they were considered wealthy. However, their wealth was not enough to cover the fees. Unstable Devastation quickly discovered the crux of the problem. The lower the remaining durability of a piece of equipment was, and the higher the level of the equipment was, the more expensive the resulting repair fee would be. Grinding high-level monster areas greatly depleted equipment's durability. Making a trip to and fro from town to these high-level areas also required them to waste at least 2 to 3 hours. Moreover, they could, at most, stay for 3 to 4 hours at these high-level monster areas before they needed to return to town to repair their equipment. This meant that they had to spend almost half their time in God's domain just traveling. As a result, the time needed for a single level-up almost doubled. If they could negate the travel time, their leveling speed would surpass the other players. When Unstable Devastation thought of this crucial matter, he immediately instructed his subordinates to look for a solution to this problem. The resulting solution was the whetstones. Although this item could only repair a small amount of durability of a weapon, even that small amount was enough. Compared to equipment used for protection, a weapon's durability decreased at a much greater rate. If they used whetstones to repair their weapons, the total cost would be much less than repairing it at the smithy. Hence, Unstable Devastation quickly ordered his subordinates to purchase whetstones. However, they quickly discovered that forgers did not normally create this item as its cost was simply too high. Moreover, whetstones normally did not sell at all. Unstable Devastation could only take a step back once again, and instead, choose to purchase hard stones, the materials required to make whetstones. Hard stones were also relatively cheap items. They were mainly used to create whetstones and certain engineering components. Each stack was only around 30 copper coins, and there were 20 in a stack, which meant that they could make 20 whetstones from a single stack of hard stones. However, Unstable Devastation had received even more shocking news. If they could not purchase whetstones directly, then so be it. However, how could hard stones be difficult to purchase as well? In reality, It wasn't just Martial Union who had discovered this problem, the other guilds had also discovered this issue. By the time they tried to purchase hard stones, they suddenly discovered that, be it the auction house or the stalls in town, there were only scarce amounts of hard stones remaining. It was far from enough for the forgers in their own guilds to create whetstones with. Elsewhere, Shifeng had just set foot on the main street of the trade area. He watched as the various large guilds tried to purchase hard stones at a high price. They purchased each stack for 80 copper coins. The price of hard stones had more than doubled. Immediately, Shifeng felt an intense joy in his heart. The moment he had long awaited had finally arrived. However, this was only the beginning. He still wanted to add oil to the fire, causing the price to soar sky high. Chapter 165, A Foolish Choice. Chapter 165, A Foolish Choice. Shifeng completely ignored the high prices these guilds were willing to pay. He headed to the appointed hotel directly. He had stockpiled hard stones for so long, to the point where he had purchased 90% of the hard stones available in White River City. Thus, he would not reveal his hand just for this little bit of profit. Right now, the danger of equipment durability was only beginning. Along with the constant increase of players' levels, they would head towards monster areas of a higher level. Very quickly, players would discover the problem regarding their equipment durability and the importance of whetstones. If they did not possess whetstones, it would greatly affect their leveling speed, and as a result, others would increase the gap between them. This result had caused the demand for whetstones to soar. They were as popular as the commonly used regeneration potions and mana recovery potions. Meanwhile, hard stones were required to make whetstones. Along with the growing demand for whetstones, the prices of hard stones would still increase by several folds. In Shifeng's previous life, hard stones once sold for a maximum price of 3 silver coins per stack. Its price had increased by tenfold from the original. Right now, due to God's domain's evolution and the investment of major corporations, the available resources were more precious than in Shifeng's previous life. Most likely, the prices of hard stones would increase to record highs. The current price of 80 copper per stack was only the beginning. Red Leaf Town, Trade Area, Black Rose Bar. At this moment, Fire Dance had gathered her entire team to discuss matters regarding the team's future development. Fire Dance's team often frequented this Black Rose Bar, as it occupied a more secluded region. Very few players came to this place. Thus, this place became the gathering spot for Fire Dance's team. Every time they completed a dungeon raid or obtained some precious item, they would come to this bar to celebrate. Fire Dance, we understand what your intentions are. However, I will still tell you the same thing. We are only playing God's domain to pass the time, and we don't have any great ambitions. We prefer to be free, and we aren't planning to earn any achievements through God's domain. If you want me to join that person called Yifeng's team, I can only tell you that I'm sorry. That's right, Fire Dance. If it were a normal situation, maybe joining would be fine. However, Yifeng has a beef with Martial Union, and right now, Martial Union targets us too. Martial Union has already put out the word that, if we do not sever our relations with Yifeng and apologize to them, we won't ever need to think about leaving town to level up and quest. If we leave town, they'll just kill us and send us back. If we join Yifeng's team, won't we end up in an even worse situation? That's right. Martial Union is just too powerful right now. There is no way Yifeng can establish himself in Red Leaf Town. If you want us to join Yifeng's team, I can only look for another way out of this. I, too, share this opinion. We have lost a lot of our levels, and our average right now is only level 5. We can only apologize to Martial Union if we want to have the possibility to continue mingling in Red Leaf Town. If we join Yifeng's team, we'll truly be finished. According to my investigations, the Martial Union branch in Red Leaf Town is completely under the control of that person called Unstable Devastation. He has gathered all the players from Martial Union in 5 different towns to Red Leaf Town, and he is prepared to go all out developing in Red Leaf Town. There are many experts from Martial Union in Red Leaf Town right now. Their guild's treatment is generous, and its development rate is impressively fast. I heard that their member count has already exceeded 1,000, and amongst them, there are over 200 elite members. They are much stronger than before. Martial Union has the ability to constantly target us and prevent us from leaving town to grind and level up. We can afford to provoke them any longer. Even if we reach level 10 and go to White River City, Martial Union's member count would have exceeded 10,000 by then. It would only be a simple matter for them to deal with us. It was a mistake to provoke them right from the very beginning. Our only way out of this mess is to offer them an apology. Right, I agree as well. Our original goal in playing God's Domain was simply to mess around. We are completely different from that Yifeng who has embroiled himself in a fight with Martial Union. If you, Fire Dance, wish to join him, please don't drag us in as well. We don't wish to be under surveillance 24 hours a day. Fire Dance did not expect everyone to voice their opinions. They all expressed their refusal to join Shifeng's team, and they even wanted her to apologize to Martial Union. Ha! I understand. I'll only ask this one last time, then. If there are any of you willing to join Yifeng's team with me, please stand by my side. Fire Dance understood their troubles. Previously, they were all veteran gamers of virtual reality games. However, the virtual reality games they played before only had a player base in the hundreds of thousands. Even until the later stages of the game, a top-tier guild would only have several thousand members. On the other hand, God's Domain had made clear to them the true meaning of a large guild and the true power of a game with over 2 billion players across the globe. God's Domain was completely different from any other virtual reality games. It had utterly shattered their concept of virtual reality games, as it was practically a second reality. Previously, they didn't think there was anything special about the various large guilds. Only now did they truly understand how frightening a guild could be in a virtual reality game. Just the members of Martial Union inside a single town reached the thousands, and it was still increasing. If they reached White River City, their member count would break into the tens of thousands. A team of independent players like themselves could not afford to provoke such a large guild. Moreover, such a large guild like Martial Union was only an unrated guild. As for third-rate, second-rate, and first-rate guilds, they were tyrannical existences. Although Martial Union was a very frightening existence in Red Leaf Town, Yifeng's shocking performance had been deeply engraved onto Fire Dance's soul. She truly thought that she had wasted her time playing those other games before. Right now, only the thought of following Yifeng filled her heart. She wanted to get to know and experience the world of Apex experts. Fire Dance, wake up. Alright? We will not follow you. Right now, our only way out of this mess is to apologize. Haven't you always dreamt of becoming an expert in God's Domain? If you continue fighting it out with Martial Union, you will head away from that goal. Stop being silly and acting foolish. After Fire Dance finished speaking, aside from Water Buffalo, there was not a single person who walked towards Fire Dance's position. They all had their heads lowered, feeling that Fire Dance was simply too foolish. She had truly been bewitched by that Yifeng for her to dig her own grave by joining him. Alright, since you guys have decided, Water Buffalo and I will join Big Brother Yifeng by ourselves. Fire Dance's mood sank after hearing everyone's decision. They had joined each other after much difficulty, dreaming of reaching some achievements in God's Domain. Yet, the result was such in the end. Soon after, Fire Dance opened her friends list, selected Yifeng, and contacted him. Previously, she had told Yifeng that she would contact him after speaking with her team. Now that everyone had finished their discussion, she had to notify him. Big Brother Yifeng, I'm done on my side, Fire Dance said, disappointed. Although she had long since guessed such a result, she originally thought that 3 to 5 others would follow her. Now, however, there were only 2 of them. She was too embarrassed to even speak of this matter. That's great. How many people do you have? If we have enough, we can raid a team dungeon. At this moment, Shifeng had just finished meeting with Cola and the others. He was prepared to focus fully on establishing a core team for Zero Wing. Before that, he sent Cola and the other 2 to visit the auction house to purchase some bags with larger capacities, a large amount of mana recovery potions, and some refreshments. He also asked Violet Cloud to join Blackie to grind and level up. However, he did not think that Fire Dance would contact him just in time. Her timing was impeccable. Chapter 166 – Initial Formation of the Team. Chapter 166 – Initial Formation of the Team. There are only two, Water Buffalo and myself. Everyone has their own opinions, so I can't demand this of them. Fire Dance nearly choked on her words after hearing Yi Feng's excited tone. 2 people? That's not too bad, Shi Feng lightly laughed. Do you guys have anything you need to do right now? If not, you can join me. In reality, Shi Feng did not particularly mind the matter with Fire Dance's teammates. Previously, Fire Dance mentioned that her teammates were not ambitious and that they were only casual players in God's domain. Hence, it was best for Shi Feng if all of these people did not join him. It would save him a lot of trouble. He also did not need to waste time on training them. I don't have anything else to do here. Water Buffalo and I will meet you. Previously, Fire Dance had worried that she would disappoint Yi Feng with the news. However, after listening to his relaxed tone, she could not help but sigh in relief. After disconnecting the call, Fire Dance and Water Buffalo bade farewell to everyone else. They did not know when they would meet again. I truly can't understand her. Why is she so obsessed with that guy? An assassin in leather armor said after Fire Dance departed. He could not help but sigh. I'm also very curious about that Yi Feng. Just what is so good about him? If she becomes Martial Union's enemy like this, by the time we enter White River City, she might very well still be in hiding in this town, not daring to leave. Would there even be a meaning to such a gaming life? The team members that chose to stay behind voiced their confusion, one after another. Meanwhile, at the Fountain Plaza of Red Leaf Town, although it was still daytime in God's domain, the benches that decorated the plaza were currently overcrowded with players. All around, one could see couples flirting with each other. The scene was the complete opposite of a battlefield. Big Brother Feng, sorry for making you wait. Upon her arrival to the Fountain Plaza, she discovered Yi Feng enjoying the breeze as he waited for someone. No worries. All our members are finally here now. In the future, we will all be members of the same team. Let me introduce you all. Then, Shi Feng smiled as he started introducing each of the team members. There were a total of 6 members present, excluding himself: the Guardian Knight, Cola, the Oracle, Drowsy Sloth, the Summoner, Gluttonous Mouse, the Cleric, Violet Cloud, the Assassin, Fire Dance, and the Berserker, Water Buffalo. With all 6 of them, they could be a standard dungeon party. Fire Dance, being level 9, was the highest leveled player amongst them. Following her was Violet Cloud and Water Buffalo, who were both at level 8. The remaining were all level 7. Looking at how Violet Cloud had raised herself to level 8 just through cooking, the effort and suffering she had gone through were obvious. If it were not for Shi Feng's stern command, Violet Cloud would not intend to go out to grind at all. She rather preferred continuously cooking and earning money. When Cola and the others saw Fire Dance's level, admiration filled their hearts. Moreover, she was also a great beauty. They only reached level 8 with Shi Feng's guidance. Even if Martial Union had not killed them, sending them back to level 7, they would only be level 8. They were still far from level 9. Moreover, Fire Dance's equipment was extremely high quality. She also possessed a few pieces of secret silver equipment, while the others were mysterious iron. One could see that Fire Dance was definitely an expert, far more amazing than themselves. As for the one who managed to recruit such an expert beauty into the team, Cola and the other 2 could not help but give Shi Feng a thumbs up. This was as expected of their leader. As for Shi Feng's level, nobody in the team could discern it, as Shi Feng had hidden his information with the demon mask. The others could only see unknown. However, nobody felt concerned about his actions. Shi Feng constantly felt like a mysterious expert to them, so it was only natural that they could see his identity. Big Brother Yi Feng is amazing as expected. We've only been apart for half a day, yet the pressure you give off has massively increased. After Fire Dance met Yi Feng again, she could clearly feel that he was different from before. He was like an unsheathed sword, and her six senses told her that Yi Feng had become much stronger. Since everyone is familiar with each other now, I'll tell you guys what you need to do next, Shi Feng said formally. However, just as Shi Feng was about to reveal their goal, a group of players suddenly appeared and surrounded the fountain plaza. Martial Union is dealing with an issue. All those uninvolved, leave immediately. Martial Union's members chased away the other players, taking complete control of the fountain plaza. Yi Feng, you've made me look for you for a long time now, a scholarly youth said as he stepped out from the crowd. This was unstable devastation. There were over 400 members of Martial Union crowding the fountain plaza. When Kola and the others saw all these players, they immediately panicked, their expressions turning solemn. What? You want to take action here? Shi Feng swept a glance over the players from Martial Union. The majority of them were level 5 or level 6, only a minority were level 8 or level 9 elites. How could I possibly be such a brute? I'm only here today to give you all a final warning, Unstable Devastation said with a smile. Last time, he had taken a huge loss because of Yi Feng. If he could, he really wished to kill Yi Feng now. However, they were right in the middle of town. If he killed Yi Feng here, he might implicate Martial Union as well. However, if he mobilized a dozen or so players against Yi Feng, they would only be helpless against him, disgracing Martial Union's reputation. This was not a result he wished to see. Warning. We've already reached the point of no return. Your warning holds zero meaning to me, it is only a bunch of nonsense, Shi Feng laughed. You are still so fearless, even when faced with so many of our members, I truly admire you for that. Unfortunately, your strength is limited, you are not an opponent for Martial Union at all. My warning isn't actually directed at you, Unstable Devastation clapped his hands, shifting his sights towards Kola and the others. He then coldly said, this time, my warning is for the teammates standing behind you. You all better come to your senses. If you sever your relationship with Yi Feng immediately, I assure you that I will not pursue past matters and let you all go. Of course, if you resolve to stand with the powerless Yi Feng, prepare to suffer the rage of Martial Union. I admit that killing Yi Feng himself is extremely difficult, however, it is only a simple matter for Martial Union to exterminate you all. Although Unstable Devastation smiled as he spoke, Kola and the others could only feel a deep chill from his words. They could not help but admit that Unstable Devastation's words sounded logical. They were not top-tier experts, and they did not possess that many life-saving skills that could help them escape. Although Martial Union could not kill Yi Feng, that did not mean they could not get rid of them. As proven, they had died once before already. There would definitely be a second time in the future. If such a situation continued, they would not have a future in God's domain to speak of. Looking at the panicked and hesitant expressions on Kola and the others, Shi Feng spoke not a single word, he remained silent as he stood there. This move of Unstable Devastation's was extremely vicious. He wanted Shi Feng to taste the betrayal of his closest friends. Not only would it reduce his overall power, but it could also become a hit to his heart. Unfortunately, Shi Feng was no longer the arrogant brat that he used to be. On the contrary, he wanted to use this plan of Unstable Devastations to refine the members of his elite team. In the future, the team he led would have to face off against many powerful foes. If they could not handle the challenge before them right now, how could they succeed in the future? Shi Feng did not desire teammates who only enjoyed the good times, but could not suffer through the bad with him. This could be Shi Feng's test for them. He wanted to see just what sort of choice they would make in such a situation. After quite some time had passed, Kola and the others exchanged glances with each other, smiles on their faces. They had all made their decisions, and they all stood by Shi Feng's side without hesitation, having zero intentions of leaving. Kola, Drowsy Sloth, Gluttonous Mouse, and Violet Cloud were originally players who others looked down on. They lived at the very bottom of God's domain, and they only possessed the levels and equipment they had today because of Shi Feng's help. By becoming enemies with Martial Union, at worst, they would only revert to their original states. So, how could they possibly betray Shi Feng in this sort of situation? As for Fire Dance and Water Buffalo, they had long since steeled their hearts to follow Yi Feng. They wished to experience the world of top-tier experts, and faced with such a threat, they paid no mind at all. Unstable devastation, even in death, we would never betray our leader. If you have the ability, then come. Kola laughed loudly as he looked at Unstable Devastation. Good. Very well said. Unstable Devastation smiled with indignation, saying, "Don't say that I never gave you a chance. This is something you've all chosen for yourselves, so don't blame me for not lacking courtesy. Boys, get them." Originally, Unstable Devastation thought that he could take this chance to shame Yifeng, turning him into a laughingstock. However, he truly did not think that these people would be so muddle-headed. They must have eaten something wrong to follow Yifeng so steadfastly. Otherwise, Yifeng must have shown a hopeful fantasy, letting them think that they still had a future. Since he was already here, he would not let Yifeng and the others escape unscathed. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.